Yeah. Good morning, everybody. That's Scroobius Pip. I forgot that ends cold. And introduction. Got that request off the old Twitter last night from NorCal Graffiti. Thank you for that one. I want to check out more of Scroobius Pip.
Scroobius Chip.
Scroobius Pip. Pip.
So we have Bert Kreischer today and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, very good.
To Twitter.
Yes. Well, we're mad at E-Rock.
Oh,
and I know he's going to go, what now, but...
do you understand
Jimmy's very annoyed.
Well, we both are a little irritated.
I'm annoyed. Jimmy's annoyed.
Yeah, E-Rock, do you understand what we're bothered by?
I'm looking at it now.
Why wouldn't you put their @ handles when you're mentioning them?
Because it's tagged on the photo.
Why are you screaming at me?
Because you're attacking me right off the top of the bat.
What do you mean it's tagged on the photo?
They're all tagged to it.
What do you mean?
Including Opie, which is how you found it and retweeted it.
Yeah, if you look at the photo, it goes right to your @ mentions.
It saves you character space so you don't have to put the actual handles in there.
I don't understand.
So
for real.
The photo is tagged.
I know what E-Rock means, and I understand that, and I've been tagged in things.
Right.
But will you see that the same as if someone tweets?
Exactly the same.
Then you know what? Let me take this opportunity to shut my mouth.
Mark that.
And tell E-Rock my apologies.
But where do you see the tags?
You don't see it. It's in the photo.
It's a new thing they're doing?
It's been like that for about a year.
I meant in the last year.
Yeah.
But how do you... So I can't see all the tags for this particular photo?
It shows up in your @ mentions.
It says who is in this photo.
On the photo.
Who's in this photo?
On the bottom of the photo, it's kind of grayed out. If you tap that, it shows you the whole list of who's attached to the tweet and to the photo.
But the only thing is that people can't see it in general, though, so they can't retweet it. Like,
when they retweeted, they're still attached.
Okay.
It's just making it easier on the eyes and saves you characters so you can write more.
All I want to do is see the tags.
You can see.
You can just click on it. It says who's in the photo. Just click
right
on
under the photo.
Under the
you'll
photo.
see who's attached to it.
You clicked on the photo. Under the photo.
Go back to the tweet.
I clicked on the photo.
Yeah, you can. It says
don't
under
click on
the photo. It says Sirius XM and 3 others.
I'm not. I'm just confused. That's all. I want to learn something new today.
Show them.
What am I doing wrong?
You and 3 others.
Right.
So click on you and 3 others.
Oh, click on that. So and then click on this.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, I didn't know.
You learn something new every day. It's that's part of
He got me all
living.
riled up. I'm sorry, Eric.
But you didn't know either.
No, I didn't, but I walked in and he's like, what's he doing? I'm like, I don't know. Let's question him on the air. That was my fault because he wanted to ask you before, and I'm like, no, let's just ask him on the air.
I was going to just ask you off air.
That's all. I'll accept.
That's true.
A big piece of that one.
So Jimmy was the one that wanted to embarrass you to hopefully a large audience.
Well, I just figured it was fodder for an amazing chat. We all learned something today. But these things backfire sometimes.
I had no idea about that.
It's the same with Instagram when people say, when we put our photos up and say, why aren't you tagging these people?
Right.
You tag them on the photo so it saves space in your text.
Yeah, because otherwise you got a tweet or an Instagram comment full of
and it takes away characters from the space that you want to write.
All right, then. I like this new technology.
Well, new is
I love this brand new technology.
It's not brand new. It's definitely.
When did it start? Like Monday?
No, a long time ago.
Long time ago. What? Week ago?
No, much longer than that.
I did not know, for real. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning to everybody.
Yes.
Keeping it topical.
I guess we'll take Big Daddy's phone call in Florida. Go ahead, Big Daddy. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I was just wondering, how did it feel when Arnold Schwarzenegger said it was nice seeing you guys again, and then you had to realize he was only talking to Kevin Pollak?
I don't even know if he was talking to Kevin Pollak when he said that, because he said, nice to see you guys, meaning all of us. Maybe, I mean, he's such a big star, he probably doesn't even know if he ever did our show before yesterday.
He probably was saying it and then realizing Kevin was in the group.
Right.
And he just said, like, nice to see you guys again. Like, just, you know, it was one of those things where you're talking to a group who you know from different circumstances. Kevin he knows from before, us he knows from now.
Right.
So he didn't want to be impersonal and say nice to see you guys because of Kevin. So we kind of got squeezed into Kevin's again, which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, we Go ahead.
You piggybacked into it. You got piggybacked into it. Okay.
Kind of, yes.
It felt a little weird when he said that, because we did have a very good time with Arnold Schwarzenegger yesterday. But he's one of those celebrities, I guarantee by the time he was 20 feet from the studio after the interview, he forgot about us.
No, I don't know about that. He was a
Really?
governor. Yeah, he's not a typical dumb celebrity. He probably notices a lot more than you think. I mean, he had to go over... I'm not saying you have to be a genius to be the governor.
Right.
But he's not a dumb guy.
Unlike Roger Daltrey, when I saw him a mere 2 hours after our interview, walking from the park with one of his friends, probably his manager or someone very close to him in business. And I go, hey, Roger. And he looked at me like, who the fuck is this asshole Who fan? And I go, no, man, Opie from Opie And Anthony, you were on our show this morning. And he was like no recognition that he talked to us a mere 2-3 hours earlier.
Sometimes that happens. Yeah, it sucks. Although sometimes I remember. I was at UFC on Saturday.
Right.
And Luis Guzman was there. And I saw him, and I'm like, he's not going to remember us. I'm sick of not saying hello to people I like. Like, he was on. He was a nice guest.
He was great.
Enjoyable guy.
He was great.
So I walked over and I said hello. I'm like, hi, I'm Jim. We interviewed you. He's like, oh, man. He was very happy. It was a brief hello, but he was nice about it. It wasn't a major...
But you could tell there was a recognition there?
Yeah, or even if he was making it up. He is an actor, so who knows?
Yeah, we do get that as well, but there's
sometimes you got to tell them where they know you're from. That's all.
Yeah, there's certainly a bunch of celebrities that forget as soon as they leave the studio, which is all right. Whatever. We all understand what's going on there. Thank you, Big Daddy.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
I mean, it was just great to talk to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That ended up to be a lot of fun.
It was. He was very nice, and again, he was very easy to interview because he just talks about anything.
He doesn't look real, right? He's so famous, he doesn't look real. I was looking at him like, holy fuck, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger, my God. Right?
For the first minute he was in, it was a little nerve-wracking because he's getting settled and you want to, you don't know what his vibe is like.
Right.
But after that, it was fun.
He walked in and he was intense because he was just trying to figure out the room real fast.
Yeah,
and then he settled in quickly, but... Huh, Sam?
Yeah, I was noticing it was like a few minutes, like at first he definitely was trying to figure out the room and the motivations of everybody. I think Pollock being here was helpful.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was nice.
But yeah, I think real quick he kind of settled in. You can see he started laughing more at the questions and he figured out the room really quickly. He had a good time.
Yeah.
He had
Very
a good time.
nice.
Yeah.
Took photos with everyone. Some came out a little blurry. Some came out good.
You got a blurry photo with...
I wouldn't say really blurry. It's
Did you tweet it? I saw your
it didn't
tweets
look bad.
yesterday.
It's not, when you zoom in, you can see.
When you
it's
zoom
not.
in, it's not up to your
Mine was the same way as yours.
your liking.
Oh, yours was too?
Yeah, it was blurry like yours.
Is that why you Instagrammed it a teeny bit? Like you filtered?
I filtered it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yours didn't look bad. But it's not like it's instead of a 10, it's a 7. So it's not like it's a disaster. It's fine. And I did get a...
Oh yeah, that's really blurry.
Yes, that's not bad. That's
I'm kidding. That's not blurry. What are you talking
No,
about?
when you zoom in on the face on an 8x10, it's a teeny bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, Sam noticed the same about his, but it wasn't a big deal because what I did was the picture of all of us together.
Right.
I was able to, those are crystal clear.
Right.
I guess because there's no movement. And so I was able to zoom in on me and Arnold and that, and it looks perfect.
You cropped us out?
Just for my own house, yes.
You know what
I would have set you guys on fire if I had to.
might be happening. I think that amazing sparkle in your eye sets off the flash on the camera.
I want the flash. The flash makes it clearer.
No, but it's that sparkle that just bounces back.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
little cling on my teeth.
Yeah.
But yeah, believe me, that's fine to blow up and get it to get taken. I'm not complaining. It was just funny when I zoomed in. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. Today we do have Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a great talker.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. What are we going to ask him today?
I'm going to ask him a bunch of moon questions.
Oh.
What's up on the moon?
Talk about the moon?
Yeah.
What's up on the moon?
How come they call moons butts?
They don't. It's the other way.
Whatever. You ever go to Saturn? It's a good question.
No, it's not. Nobody's been there.
Shut up.
Well, I guess we could ask him that stuff. Sure.
No.
And then we got Bert Kreischer outside the studio.
Yeah.
Chomping at the bit.
He's ready.
He's ready to come in.
Yeah.
Well, we need a few minutes just to kind of hang out, right?
He's already been periscoping this morning. He's good to go.
Oh, good.
He's one of those periscopers.
Yeah, I was periscoping yesterday.
I hope that today I have a Reddit AMA at 4 o'clock.
Right.
I hope they don't give me the business, or I'm going to have a Robert Downey Jr. moment.
You're going to just walk off?
How uncomfortable is that?
I got to see this video again.
Travis raised the point that maybe they had specified in the interview you couldn't ask him personal questions.
Yeah, I mean-
and the guy agreed to it and broke that.
This
Right.
was the same guy, by the way, who like 2 years ago got Tarantino pissed off with those movie violence questions.
But the odd thing is, and I love Tarantino, but I've been interviewed a lot about stuff, and believe me, I've had to deal with, it was your cake stomp one year, it was Anthony's thing the other year, and this year,
Right.
it's never a point where I'm going to go like, oh my God.
Right.
Even if you think someone's being confrontational, just talk your way through it.
Well, and
It's not that hard.
And I mean, the competition is fierce out there, and these guys are trying to get something a little different done with their interview. Most of these celebrity interviews, and certainly we've had our share over the years, are boring.
They're boring.
They're fucking boring. And so you do try to maybe get them to open up about something else, and you try some different things. It doesn't mean you're trying to, fuck the celebrity over, but the guy you have on your show is doing another 10 of these after you. And they're all pretty much the same fucking interview. So.
And the thing is, these guys don't know how to take a question. These are softball questions. If he said something in an interview to the New York Times, which is when he first started getting uncomfortable, about you can't come out of jail and be a liberal, well, you could see he gets tense, but all he's got to do is just say, like, wait, hey, look, man, sometimes you're in jail, you don't think when you come out, or you change your opinion over time.
Right.
But he gets tense at that. And then the question about drugs and alcohol, he's like looking over his shoulder.
Right.
Why can't you use that if you're still sober, why not just springboard that into a discussion about how much better life is to wake up and remember what you did last night? Like, why is it tense?
And as a viewer, that's way more interesting than hearing about what was your inspiration for your role as the...
Oh, my God. What would Tony Stark do if he broke down? Ugh.
Exactly.
These people are very easily disarmed. If someone's asking you a question, even if they have shitty intentions, if you give them a real answer and you're open about it and you're comfortable talking about it, a lot of times it takes away their motivation to get you.
Right.
Because you're not being defensive.
Right.
Some of these actors, man, they have no idea how to do this one-on-one, even though they're brilliant actors.
And then he feels like he's in a little trouble, so he did exactly what Paris Hilton did, and certainly others in this studio. They look over their shoulder for the publicist.
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta did it?
At XM.
No, because that was a time thing. I think he was enjoying himself.
No, the first time, because we watched him, he kept leaning his hand down while you guys were talking under the chair and doing this kind of hand movement to the publicist to say, "Oh, we're done. He has to get out of here."
What were we saying to him?
It was somewhat Jay Moore too. Like Jay Moore was bothering him, or just wasn't comfortable with whatever.
Yeah, Jay was there that day. Maybe
but Steve and I were watching him. And
I know. I caught that too.
Would shove his hand under the seat and make the signal to the publicist to get him out of here.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this because I thought
we talked about it after he left too.
I don't remember, man. I don't remember every single
we did talk about
thing we've done over the years. Jesus,
he did come back
more than I do.
No, he did. But that initial visit to the show, he did that like some other celebrities did. Like,
but do you know why he was doing it?
I think Jay was kind of putting him off.
In what way?
I think Jay was just messing with him.
Jay was doing a lot of Goodfellas stuff and things, and I think it was just coming off a little maybe over-aggressive that Ray wasn't.
But Ray's intense and aggressive himself.
Well, he might not have known. Sometimes if you don't know where someone's coming from.
Right.
Like, I've heard things other guys have said. I'm like, was that guy being a dick?
Right.
Oh, you know what I did last night that was fun? I did Race Wars. Metzger and Sherrod. That was a fun fucking podcast, man.
Nice. We're gonna get that podcast on this channel.
It was really fun, yeah. And
nice.
There was I don't remember the one girl's name. I know Caitlin's a friend of mine, and also Kurt's girlfriend. Karen. But I don't know who the other woman was, but that was a lot of fun.
Good.
I just remember that 'cause it was a fun experience.
Yay!
Aww.
Let's look at this interview that went a little weird.
Awry.
Awry.
Well, how about a weeder of the
Robert Downey Jr. walks off.
Just named one.
It's 4. What channel is this?
That's
This is
Channel 4
BBC,
News.
I guess, right? Or
No,
England.
Channel 4 is independent.
Channel 4 News in England.
In England,
In England, okay. All right, let's play this.
Well, you get to go. This is the 7-minute version.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice Iron Man talk. It's a good interview, actually, at one point about the Iron Man, and he's asking smart questions. But you could see that he's hesitating and hemming and hawing because he knows he's about to get into some personal shit.
All right, let's do this.
Peckers.
I'm not saying that I'm such a fantasist that I felt like I was Tony Stark, but I felt like it was my persona. But none of us are our personas.
But he's becoming a much more likable character as well, isn't he?
I suppose
a better
so.
man.
Yeah, he's becoming a better guy.
In a way that you are as well, I suppose.
That was a smart segue.
Sure.
I mean, what I'd really like to ask you about a quote you gave to the New York Times, and I don't want to pry, so if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But what you said to the New York Times once was,
He's already uncomfortable.
it was after your incarceration, and you said you can't go from a $2,000 a night hotel suite to a penitentiary and understand it and come out a liberal. And I just wondered what you meant by that.
Well, the funny thing is, and I appreciate your point of view, things that you said 5-7 years ago or things you said in an interview that made sense to you at the time, I could pick that I could pick that apart for 2 hours and be no closer to the truth than I'd be giving you some half-assed answer right now. I couldn't even really tell you what a liberal is. So therein lies the answer to your question.
The statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing is that I'm certainly not going to
pause for a second?
on anything I've said, but
It's interesting on a couple points here. First of all, he handled the question very well, right?
Who, Robert?
Yeah, he answered it.
Yeah, that
And the
first question he did, yeah.
And the guy's continuing, and then Robert sounds like a dick, like, are we promoting a movie? We're 5 minutes into the interview, so for the most part, he was promoting the movie for most of that 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, well, how much about the movie? Like, you could talk about the Avengers and all that stuff, but that is really boring after a while.
Right.
Why not just have a real discussion with the guy about
Right.
something? It's not like he's asking about molesting kids. You gave a quote to the New York Times.
Right.
I think it's fair to ask about that.
Right.
Well, I think I'm sure there's an understanding though when they go in, like they're allotting these guys 7 minutes. So I'm sure that they go, yep, you can have them. All we're doing is talking about the movie, because the interviews are only intended to get cut up into a 30-second drop so you can play something about the movie on the news.
And that's
like
true.
it literally is a commercial. It's not a real interview.
Oh, that's true. Okay, but these guys also don't know how boring it is to only hear about the movie for 7 minutes. They don't. We know the director was fun. They understand it.
They're not
Right.
airing 7 minutes.
Okay. This is. Oh, yeah, didn't he say it's a commercial? Maybe you're right.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe but as the interviewer, you sit there and you go, man, no one's going to give a fuck about this. So you keep prying and prying. You're always, in this new world, you're always looking for that soundbite, that 15, 20 seconds that is going to go everywhere for you.
And the guy, and Robert gave it to him.
Right.
Yeah. Like, nobody would notice this interview if he just answered that question
Right.
casually
Right.
and acted like it was a great question and he's
Right.
happy the guy
Right.
asked it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really glad you brought that up. I don't know what I meant. It was silly.
Right. It's something I said 5 to 7 years ago. I explained it at the time.
Yeah.
And
But
then
then
it keeps going back to that. But then him getting annoyed, it's now the story.
Now it's the story.
But this
So-
interviewer also does not at all read him, or he ignores him. That obviously he was annoyed.
No, of course he
when
could
he
tell.
answered.
No, he could
and
tell.
then he just decided to keep pushing and pushing.
Well,
and
why
pushing.
wouldn't like, he could tell, and he was trying to be. That was why he said Tony Stark's a better man,
Right.
much like you're a better man.
Right.
Oh, go, I see what you did there.
Just weaseling his way into that
Yeah,
question?
personal question time.
I don't really have a problem with what's going on.
I don't
here.
at all by the interview.
I don't think
None.
I don't think it's that bad, especially because it's something that he did say to the New York Times. Let's see what happens now.
I wouldn't say I'm a Republican or a liberal or a Democrat. I think when I was talking to the person who was doing the interview that day, and that just happened to be my opinion. That's the nice thing, is you can have opinions and they kind of change and flow.
Yeah, well, that's life and that's growing older, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you say we're promoting an interview. I mean, promoting the movie. I mean, obviously you're doing a promotional round of interviews, and that's why we're talking about the movie. But we also would like to talk a little bit about you, and I don't know how comfortable you are, talking about yourself at the moment.
You have as much time as anyone else will.
Yeah, well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions and you can answer them if you want to and not
Looks
if
at the
you don't want
publicist.
to. I mean, well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
He's furious.
Yeah.
You, the reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in
He's furious.
the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions. That's all.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
are you? Oh, well, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Do you?
You seem okay. It's just getting a little Diane Sawyer in your...
No, look, I don't want to do that.
He said it's just getting a little Diane Sawyer and you're kind
Right.
of a schmuck.
Right.
And I think the publicist said time, meaning that they were keeping him. They were like, okay, he
Yeah,
gets 7
they were-
minutes,
they were.
and like we're cutting him off.
It was time. It was done. And that's, I guess, in that moment, you can't fault the publicist because that was directly from Robert Downey. The publicist was just doing what he
Right,
wanted.
right.
That was not the publicist being cunty. That was simply honoring what he wanted. But you know,
I don't like the interviewer.
I don't mind him because what he was saying
But
there
I
basically is, are you sober? Are you drinking and
Right.
getting high?
But
That's
you
what-
know, if you've got a minute left, you got 60 seconds with some guy, and you're going to bring up like his alcohol and his dad. Like you want this guy to like bare his soul with 40 seconds that we have left.
Maybe he was looking at it like they had a couple of minutes left and he wanted to get to a real question. I have zero problem. I really don't. No problem at all. If you've talked about that stuff in other interviews, and why should Diane Sawyer be the only one that's allowed to ask you a non-boring fucking question?
Or it's got to be set up months in advance and vetted probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the interviewer kind of bothers me in general.
I think he was just nervous
He's a little
going into
wormy.
this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
he's
He's a
I
little
think he's
wormy
looking
because
for that.
Robert Downey Jr. He even pointed out, look at your leg. You know, he was getting all nervous because I think he was trying to get, you know, some big soundbite from him.
Maybe. But there was
Because he
a way-
could have that
Has
interviewer-
Robert Downey Jr. talked about that in recent years?
I honestly don't know.
I
don't
feel
know
like
if
he
he's-
hasn't. I don't remember a time where a clip was out there where he was talking about his sobriety.
But it's one of those things where if you're doing good, it's so easy right there to go, life is so good right now.
Right.
I'm so glad that stuff was terrible.
Right.
Like, that's such an easy question to diffuse and fucking throw water on. That's not a
Right.
tough question.
Right.
Yeah, but that interviewer could have easily turned that around and made him feel comfortable and still gotten a soundbite. He did not have to be. He was abrasive.
Well, that was, I think, also because he had less time, and that was because you can see Robert Downey. If people watch it, you can see he's looking to his left. So this guy knows his time is limited now. Like he knows he's getting uncomfortable.
Right.
And he wasn't asking him inappropriate questions at all. It wasn't like he was aggressively trying to get him on something that Robert Downey Jr. We heard you're sleeping with whatever.
Right,
What?
right.
It wasn't one of those.
Yeah, but the questions you were asking were not like, you have 5 minutes to do this junket and talk about this movie questions. The questions he was asking were, you're coming into like a radio studio and you're talking for a half hour.
That's true.
We can actually get into stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You know
But
what
I mean, he probably would love a half hour with Robert Downey Jr. You know, if you only have 7 minutes, it doesn't change how you want the thing to go.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I'm a nobody on that scale, but of all the interviews, a lot of guys wouldn't want to talk to him. He'd give you a much better fucking interview. I love when people get in depth with questions in an interview, man. It's so much more interesting to talk to them than some boring fucking. So you were in Spider-Man. I get that. You're from Bayonne. Who cares if I'm from Bayonne?
I
fucking gives a shit.
Born and raised?
I'm playing it safe on this one because I feel like the interviewer is just wormy in
He is,
general. But I also agree with Jimmy that those questions weren't that bad, and he could have easily diffused it.
Easily.
Especially with all the time he has spent in front of media.
But what
he
if-
knows how to handle himself.
Here's where Robert Downey Jr. could have got mad. I think his son was in trouble recently, and that was public. If he had started saying about his son, then Robert could have said, like, I'd rather not talk about my son. That's his life, and I try to discuss my children. Like, that's fair. But this was just about him and things he said.
He could have just had a very safe answer, very boring answer. But now we're talking about this.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have talked about this dumb 7-minute interview with this guy.
He should have said, I got so fucking zooted, I was flying like Iron Man.
Iron.
Said that.
All right, well, there you have it. We'll put that on our Facebook page. People know how to find this shit, but just
Yeah,
in
it's all
case,
over
we'll
the
make it easy for you. All right, I think we're going to break early today because we got Bert Kreischer in studio, and
Yeah.
we also have Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in for
NGT.
He's only going to be here for like 15 or 20 minutes. He's got a big promotional tour today for his new show, Star Talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam raised a good point.
Huh.
I just made that up.
Oh. Sam got all excited. How about this? We could maybe do a speed round with Neil deGrasse Tyson. If you got a question for him, give us a call.
Yeah.
When is it?
What?
Whenever he comes in.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because people are going to start calling now.
Who cares? They can
No.
call now.
You don't want
Yeah.
people to be on hold the whole time because then we can't talk about other stuff with callers.
It's fine. We don't need to go to the callers.
What are we gonna ask him?
I got this, Sam. Relax.
Yeah.
I'm good. If you have a question for Neil deGrasse Tyson, give us a call. I want him to blow our mind today.
Yes.
Because we've talked about the wormholes and the black holes and the universe and this and that.
I wouldn't say that
Quantum
stuff's boring at this
physics.
point, though. That's still interesting stuff.
No, I know. I'm trying to figure out other things that maybe we haven't covered over the years.
How about his upbringing? Let's ask about his, do you think that you're becoming a better man? Let's ask the same question this guy just asked. You've had problems with alcohol and drugs. Look like, what? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Just leave.
All right, quick break. Bert Kreischer next. Stay there.
More with Opie and Jim. After this. Opie and Jim Norton's lives don't end when the morning does. Delicious. They're real people with real lives.
Smile and the world smiles with you.
And you can be privy to every aspect of them.
Nothing tastes as good as skills.
Follow at Opie Radio and at Jim Norton on Twitter.
Twitter is a place where people punish you with their mental illness. That is Twitter in a nutshell.
Radio icons kicking Twitter's ass.
Hey, this is Rude Jew from the All Out Show on M&M Shade 45. I like collecting vinyl, play backgammon. I go antiquing and hit massage parlors. My cheese play game is stupid. I wrote a book that got picked up by HBO. It's grimy, it's funny, it's honest, just like the radio show.
This is Eminem.
Hey, Jude, you're a failure. I'm Rude Jew from the All Out Show, Monday through Friday, 4 to 8 Eastern Time. Only on M&M Shade 45. That's Sirius XM Channel 45 and on the Sirius XM app.
Other restrictions apply. See site for program and Visa prepaid card details. All personal loans are made by WebBank, a Utah chartered industrial bank. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Hey guys, it's Andy Dean here. As a radio host turned entrepreneur, I've seen firsthand how cash really is king. So instead of getting high interest rate credit cards, I turned to Prosper.com. Prosper's online marketplace connects people who need money with those who want to invest. Invest in you. You can use Prosper to borrow up to $35,000 in as few as 5 days. With Prosper, you can borrow money for just about anything you desire. You can pay off high-rate credit cards. You can fix up your house, even plan a vacation. Anything you want, it's your money. Prosper.com is the better way to get the cash.
In case you missed it, recently this happened on Opie and Jimmy.
Wait, yeah, I think you're too young to really like Steely Dan.
No. Everyone knows everything.
How'd you get into them?
In college, we were doing a lot of cocaine and started listening to that album Asia, and I just really thought it was like about me. And it was the type of experience people had in the 60s with like peyote and the Doors or whatever, but it was Steely Dan and cocaine in 2001.
That seems like a weird combination, Steely Dan and cocaine.
No, they were huge coke addicts.
That's great for a band to do that, though. Play a different album every night.
Yeah.
For a fan, that's awesome.
Would you see Sabbath every night if they play the
they
catalog?
did Sabotage one night, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
I'd go every night and watch it.
Yeah. And then the encore is, everything else. So,
yeah.
So you do get a full show.
So you did how much coke did you do in college? I can't picture you doing, because I know John, I can't picture you doing any of that stuff.
A lot. I was like you. I quit really young. I did everything young and stopped when I was 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were, was it a problem in college or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tremendous.
Coke before class? Would you do coke before class?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was just like, I don't know. It was just, it started really fun. And I was going through a breakup and I wanted like attention. And it was that thing of like, look how bad this breakup is. I'm doing all these terrible things to myself. And then everyone was like, yeah, we don't care. And then after a while, it's just like, well, and then you're addicted to it because it's addictive.
Were you hoping that the girl would come back and rescue you because you were in so much pain?
Yeah, like doing cocaine won't make a girl get back together with you, but it will make her pick up the phone. Because they're worried about you.
Wow. And you talked to her?
Yeah, after a while, but then I remember being like, I'm not even getting what I want out of this, but I'll still keep doing drugs. But we started doing drugs really young, my friends and I, probably from like 14 onward, and it was a ton of fun, and I was lucky that it stopped being fun within like 10 years.
You figured it out that this isn't fun anymore.
And I was also, it was like a lot of people were stopping. I was starting to be the only one at night who was like doing anything or ordering anything. And everyone was like, no, it's Tuesday, we're fine. And I was like, all right, well,
So you wanted to do coke late at night and they were like, we're done with that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you quit cold turkey or did you have to go through a little
No, I didn't do it. I was in an outpatient rehab thing in college, and then I tried to get away from drugs and alcohol by moving to New York and doing comedy, and then
it's a good thing because there's none here.
That didn't work, and then so I just was cold turkey.
Did it help you get girls?
It did. I had that like all that uptight shit went away, and I was a lot more confident for those couple years. I remember being like, "This is
go to a party, go to a frat party, and
totally got out of my weird uptight head."
Plus, you got the whore bait, so yeah, of course you get.
Were college chicks into it though too, or was it just a?
Yeah, I went to Georgetown. It was like preppy people that like drugs.
You do any other drugs?
Yeah.
We talked about acid, I think, last week. That always scared the fuck out of me.
I did acid in a really stupid way. I was at a Dark Star Orchestra. They're a Grateful Dead cover band concert, and I was looking for. So I don't remember what I was looking for in the lobby, but I was already drunk, and then some guy offered me acid, and it was like 11, and no one else was going to do acid, and I took it, and we were in Philly at this Grateful Dead cover band show. And it was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Well, how was it?
It was funny for an hour, and I was the only one on acid. And everyone else was just drunk, and it was just another Saturday night.
Was it a long trip?
Yeah. I woke up on the lawn of this house. I remember playing horseshoes. I convinced everyone to turn on their headlights so that the backyard was illuminated by headlights, and we were playing horseshoes. So I did kind of corral some fun. And then I just remember waking up on the lawn
of a stranger's house.
No, of this. It was like a big house that some friends lived in Manayunk, and woke up on the lawn. It was just like, what a cliche.
Manayunk's a nice little area, though.
Yeah,
you picked
nice.
a good town at least.
Yeah, I was just very like, this was I had to go temp the next day.
Were you tired at work then?
Doing drugs with no money was like the dumbest. I think about it now. I'm like, well, now I'm working on TV and stuff, and I'm not like it. I did it out of order. Like I should be doing everything now.
Right.
I was doing it when I had like a $500 a week, temping job.
And you really needed to be at work.
Yeah, I needed to.
You really needed that $500.
There was no like nowadays I could probably disappear for a week and someone might hush it up, Like back then I was a temp. If I didn't show up at 9 a.m. I was dead.
Listen to Opie and Jimmy every morning here on Opie Radio. And now, Opie and Jim are back.
For John Cena?
Yeah.
Too many wrestling guys around this joint. How old's John Cena? He used to do our show a lot.
Yeah.
38 years old?
38 years old.
All right. Well, tell John Cena to come back and say hi to us.
Love to have him.
Where's Boyd?
Let's get Bert Kreischer in here. Good old Bert Kreischer. And then we got Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in about 5-6 minutes.
Yeah. Hi, Bert.
What's up, Bert?
Hello.
How are you?
We're on the air, so don't say anything racist.
You just...
I do that to my wife. When I'll call her from stage, I'll go, hey, you're on the stage, don't say the N-word.
What are you eating?
Eating a bagel.
They don't like when you eat on mic.
We all eat
bullshit.
They don't like it.
I was on your podcast and I had some candy, but I remember I moved the mic and I come.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They beat the shit out of us for that.
Yeah.
We finally stopped eating on mic.
It's the only reason I got into egg whites.
Why?
Because you guys were eating egg whites every fucking moment. Egg whites and oatmeal. You guys were healthy, and I felt like a fucking piece of shit on the road. And I would listen to you guys on the app, and you guys were all being fucking healthy in the morning.
Well, you gotta.
Yeah, I agree. Health is important.
I took a blood pressure medicine this morning. I should be good.
Okay, good.
I was out drinking late last night.
We all have the same creepy jacket.
Really?
You're sitting against a jacket that's exactly the same.
Yeah, my jacket is like yours, which is like Norton's. Well, all three of us have those.
Mine.
That was a college thing that you probably... No, I don't know. Maybe...
What?
Do you remember in college, like, the Gap would be big, and then you go into class and you see dudes wearing the exact same outfit you were wearing?
Of course. I used to shop at the Gap all the time. I finally had to say goodbye to the Gap.
I just got back into the Gap.
You, really?
Oh, yeah. That's my jeans.
You go Gap jeans.
Gap makes great jeans.
Nah, you got.
And then I go B-Rep shirts.
Right.
And then I'm Fry boots.
You got to go Diesel jeans.
Diesel
jeans.
Yeah, why not? Those are great.
Diesel.
Yeah, I love a good Diesel jean. No, I don't care. I don't have any brand.
What's wrong with Diesel jeans?
Come on, man. What are you, a bouncer? Diesel jeans?
Yes.
Dude,
I found my jeans at Diesel.
You are a 57-year-old white man.
I'm 57 years young. It's a good age,
You need to accept your breeding.
I did go Gap jeans for a long time, and then I went Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah. I even took a step at the Polo jeans one time. Do you know what were really good fucking jeans? Were I had a
the Nortons. Get it, Tim?
Yes, I got it.
Oh, by the way, Jim, your Rogan appearance was fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You dissecting Chip and Uncle Paul
thank
and
you.
to your girlfriend, that is maybe the greatest fucking thing to do to a
Thank you.
fucking... Oh, I loved it. I was in a car howling, laughing, and her going, I'll take the salmon, and you going, how much is that?
Yeah, how much is that? Oh, she fucking hated that.
I used to, back in the day, I would be in the car with Jimmy and his girlfriend, and she would have to talk to the characters. I thought, what the fuck? These guys are, doing this on purpose. And then I learned, no, she has to talk to the characters besides Jim Norton.
I think it's great. I wish I had a
amazing.
character for me and my wife.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Some of the most compelling radio was when you'd have girlfriends in here that were comics, and you wouldn't mention who they were, and I'd be fucking stewing, like texting Sherrod, texting everyone, who's Jim fucking? But I think I found out who it was.
That's years ago.
It was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes, it
we
was.
were dating. Like I never just picked off a comic and fucked her. I really didn't. It's not because I'm a good guy. It's just none.
It just
you
never
blame them?
happened.
Yeah, they see behind the curtain and they know that I'm the same joke behind it that I am in front of it.
You certainly tried.
Yeah, I've tried with a few.
You certainly tried over the years.
But I've never been that creepy with female comics. Like,
Yeah.
I've worked with Annie Letterman on the road. I've never worked with Nikki Glazer, but Amy was on the road with me, and never, nothing, not even tried.
You didn't try with Amy Schumer?
Never.
I definitely could have fucked Amy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No, was she ever that?
Oh, dude. No,
I've
trust me.
never seen her that
That's my
depressed.
wheelhouse. That's my wheelhouse.
Oh, really?
I used to pick kids like that off like a sniper in college.
You really feel like you could have got
I used to
Amy
tell her that.
Schumer.
I used to tell her that all the time.
Really?
I go, just so you know, I
Yeah.
could fuck you if I wanted. And I was married. I was married at the time.
Right.
And she's like, no, you couldn't. I was like, definitely could. I definitely could. She's like, you have no fucking shot. I was like, that because you're saying that, that's how I know I could.
What would be your move?
Just listen to her for a little bit.
That does go a long way.
We used to let
If you
Amy
can listen to some of that babble, it really helps you out.
We used to let Amy stay at our place when we'd go on vacation. We'd let her know that our house is available. This was before she was obviously as big as she is now.
Right.
And she stayed at our
Yeah,
place.
I can't see her crashing on the Kreischer couch. I'm hosting the MTV Movie Awards. I'll
crash on your
watch
couch?
the cats if I can sleep on the sofa.
Take the expedition, not the Mercedes that's been breaking down.
Are you a Warriors fan or
No, I just have a big fucking head.
You're just wearing the hat?
I have a size 8 head, so
They got a great shot of winning it all.
That's what I heard. I was in San
You
Francisco.
don't even know.
Nope.
Peckers.
You're just wearing the hat.
Yeah, because I have a big head.
So, yeah, but why not pick like a Cavaliers hat?
Because I have a big head, so and I can only get hats in
Neil
cities I'm
deGrasse
in.
Tyson.
Oh shit!
You don't ask.
Sorry,
You
Bert.
walk him right in.
Don't worry about it.
Look at how
Yes, you are here.
look
sir.
how cool Neil deGrasse
buddy, how are
Tyson
you?
looks with the shades on. Hey, Neil.
Hi, sir. Bert Kreischer. I'm a huge fan.
You have a radio voice, sir.
Oh, thank you.
A radio voice.
You got the radio voice, my friend. Yes.
Hey, I'm sorry. I got
You're
hung up.
perfectly on time.
No, you're on
I'm
time.
You're
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
I think you're 2 minutes early.
Good
Yeah,
to
you're
see you guys
supposed
again.
you're supposed to be here at 7:45. You're right on time there.
So let's do this.
How are you?
Hey, guys, good.
Star Talk Mondays at 11 on Nat Geo.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. That's an extension of what happens on like Wednesday. In fact, every day of the week, Star Talk's on Sirius XM.
I know it is.
But Nat Geo picked up like a filmed live version of that, not live in real time, but
Right.
a living flesh and blood.
Do you do a special version for Nat Geo, or are they filming the whole podcast and then you're picking and choosing what you want to put on?
So
Nat
what
Geo?
they do is they sort of cherry pick some episodes that we would otherwise be recording, and we put that in the Hall of the Universe of the American Museum of Natural History.
I actually went there recently.
So that's our set. The set is the Hall of the Universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
You
got
weren't there. I looked for you.
You looked for me.
I
You
did.
didn't-
I was like, "Where's Neil deGrasse Tyson?" I was just standing by the dinosaur, shouting like a lost child.
There's a lost child protocol that we go through.
It was fun. I bought magnets.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not kidding.
and a gyroscope, whatever.
No, those rock magnets.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They always have a mind of their own. As
Oh,
they
they're
attach
awesome.
themselves.
They're awesome. Like I bought, you can get as many as you can fit in the bag for $10.
I'm pleased to learn that you are enchanted by magnets.
I was because
most of us outgrow that by 6th grade, I think.
I would have thought that I did too, but these rocks were so awesome. It was like almost like a weird necklace that one of the Flintstones would have worn, and you just connect them together. I bought a bunch.
They're dark black. They're
dark black, and I watched them when I got home.
I got the fucking magnets.
But what do you do with them?
You just magnet them.
You think you're going to have a lot more fun with them than you do.
Right. You know what you do, Jim?
I'm like, I'll
Put one
spend
on top.
hours with these.
Put one top of the top of the table and move it from the bottom. Blows the kids'
That
minds.
is awesome. I used to do that all the time. But you need a strong magnet at the bottom and any other, magnetic thing. But you don't need two magnets, just one magnet below, and like a paper clip works really well. It has to be like a relatively thin wooden table, and then you put the magnet underneath and just drag the clip across the top of the table.
I do shit that the smartest guy in the fucking world does.
I do that all the time. You freak out kids. You freak out little pets. The cat and everything. That's what we did before the laser. To freak out the cat. You move stuff on the table.
Oh, in the end, he's just a goofball like the rest of us. I love it. I love it.
I've brought your name up. What's the video you did where you walked down the beach with the dog?
That was in Cosmos. That was in Cosmos.
Yeah,
that was an episode of Cosmos.
And you were talking about
but first, if you're curious, I'll tell you how difficult that was to film. But I'm walking down the beach with the dog, and the dog is meandering to my left and to my right, and I'm just keeping my vector. And the point was to indicate that you can have climate change where a temperature is on a persistent rise, but the weather from season to season can fluctuate high and low. So you can't wait for the temperature to get cold and say, there is no global warming, because this is a natural fluctuation of what would happen in the weather. Yeah. Laid on top of this slow trend in the climate. And so we had to bury treats for the dog to my left and my right so that the dog would sort of wander back and forth. It looks like the dog is just, sniffing stuff out, but that was like a totally choreographed with a Hollywood dog.
I love that
you
video.
Cheated a little bit.
But you what?
Cheated a little bit. I have a question.
Yeah.
We had, who was the astronaut we had on? Chris Hadfield?
Yes.
Good guy. Oh, man.
He was fun.
Yeah.
It was a great interview.
Did you see
Thank
his,
you, Bert
he
Kreischer.
performed David Bowie in space?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
He has a book out.
He had a
It
viral
was
video.
very good. But
Viral video. That's right.
He mentioned some kind of a possible elevator. In
space elevator.
Yeah, and he talked about it briefly, but how would that work and what would they build it out of?
By the way, first of all, I know someone who's already composed space elevator music. It exists in the musical repertoire. So here's the philosophy behind it. All right, there's all this cost of launching to get into orbit. Right, you just look at them. It's beautiful to watch, and who doesn't love a rocket countdown? But if so much expense is involved there, Arthur C. Clarke figured out that there is a place above the Earth where if you're in orbit, you are moving exactly with the rotating Earth, so that it would look like you were hovering above Earth's surface.
What's that, like 23,000 miles? Or something?
Exactly, yeah, approximately 20. Jim is like closet nerd. At home he's studying Einsteinian relativity.
I'm closet other things
he only pretends he's stupid in front of you guys. So the space shuttle, when we once had it, and the space station, they orbit relatively close to Earth, and their time to orbit is about 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. So if you stood on Earth, you'd watch them go by. The higher is your orbit, the longer it takes to complete an orbit. So there's this magic spot where it takes 24 hours for it to orbit. So it has been hypothesized that if you put a platform there and then lower a cable, you can lower the cable straight down to Earth.
I just got anxiety.
and then attach an elevator to it, and you don't need rockets. You just need sort of a joist, hoisting system. And that way, you would have routine access to orbital space.
All right. Would we do that, though?
There's no material that can dangle a 23,000-mile cable and hold up its own weight that we have command over. But do you remember Bucky Balls? There was these Carbon 60. Don't look at him like you don't believe that he knows what I'm talking about.
But Bucky Balls, I think that he's referring to somebody he played baseball with.
not Bucky's balls, right?
Sorry, never mind. Wrong one.
Do you really know what it is, Bert?
Yeah. And now that we're all talking about it, now I don't.
Okay.
Bucky Balls are the things they sold in.
No.
That's why I looked at him.
It was a newly discovered, a couple of decades ago, it was a newly discovered form of carbon that we we didn't know existed.
I was thinking the thing they sold in Brookstone.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right. Carbon 60. It's 60 atoms of carbon configured basically at the vertices of what were the stitches on a soccer ball before they changed the design of the soccer ball. You have 60 vertices there, and carbon makes a sphere. It was a new kind of molecule. It turns out if you cut it at the equator of the sphere and then attach more carbon chains in between it, you can make a carbon tube. And the carbon tube is like 1,000 times stronger than steel and lighter, and it would actually hold up its own weight in a 23,000 mile cable and hold up people who are ascending it. The problem is, last I checked, the longest carbon tube we've been able to make is about 1 centimeter long.
Wow.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, that's a really fast ride.
But in principle, you'd be able to just hoist yourself up to this orbital platform. Right. You wouldn't need rockets. You wouldn't need any of that.
But you'd hover over like Cleveland. Like you wouldn't like get to. You just be over Cleveland your entire life.
Where did that city? All the cities in the world. Where did Cleveland come from?
Well, it's just not the prettiest to look at.
It's
like, you're just looking at a bunch of dirt.
It's a great.
I want to be out over Fiji or something so I can see islands.
Right. So it turns out the physics of it is it would be over the equator. If it were over some other spot, it would actually oscillate north and south of the equator. So you would just park it at the equator, and then that's how you would do it.
How long would it take to get up there?
The problem is airplanes flying across the equator. You have to, you don't want to yank them out of the sky with your chains.
Right.
You'd have to avoid that.
Well, there's also, would you do it with magnets? Would magnets be able to do it? Magnetism? Here's, by the way, can I correct myself? I realized saying magnets made me sound like an idiot, so I threw in magnetism. So I would sound like I was a Harvard graduate. Like I'll talk to Mr. Tyson on his level. Magnetism.
Just add syllables, and then you'll be smarter, right?
I got a question for you. I learned a lot from Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I learned recently that we can make diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea about this.
Yeah. Oh, so you saw this episode I hosted for PBS Nova Science Now. There's a few years ago.
Right.
And the guys are doing it in like some secret back lot because they don't, they're worried about like the diamond cartel coming after them. And so I was taken there blindfolded, and I had to shut off my iPhone, which of course has inertial sensors that could possibly track which way you were going after the fact.
Yeah.
And so then they take off my blindfold and I enter this factory, and they're layering the carbon atoms onto a diamond lattice, and they're making basically perfect diamonds.
And they're real?
And we took the diamonds and brought it to 47th Street and had some people assess it, and it was clear. Most diamonds have certain imperfections because Earth is not as good at making diamonds as we are in the laboratory.
Yeah. So that's going to fuck up the whole business.
It'll ruin it, right?
It could.
Eventually.
However, possibly. However, you just have to market it differently. All right? Do you want diamonds that nature made? Or do you want diamonds that scientists made in a laboratory? So what might happen
if they're a lot less, then yes.
If they cost less?
Yes, the ones the scientists made.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I paid a fucking fortune for a ring a few years back.
Here's your $9 earrings.
The future of engagement rings. Honey, this is a pure diamond, but in my Cracker Jack box.
Look, that's a great question, but as a guy, we're all guys here. We're gonna go get the scientific diamonds, and then we're gonna tell the woman, "Oh no, I went to De Beers."
Oh, I buy the blood diamonds and go, "Hey, no, these are non-conflict."
Right. Exactly.
I got them out of Canada.
No, but think about it. Suppose we went to another cosmic place and found diamonds on another planet. They would have higher value just because of the knowledge that they came from another place. So what we value is rarity almost more than even what the thing looks like.
And they're not that big yet, though. The ones
they're
making?
hard. Yeah, it's hard. We're not making like Elizabeth Taylor diamonds yet, but tiny ones certainly useful for industrial purposes.
And you taught us, I don't know, maybe last time.
I mean, you guys are like at home watching educational television. I'm so proud of you guys.
No,
I just met you. Tell me your name.
I'm Bert.
Bert Kreischer.
Bert?
Yeah.
Hey, Bert.
Hey.
No, you've turned...
I'm waiting for my question about time travel.
Go ahead.
You've turned a lot of people onto this. You make it a lot easier.
No, you know what it is? Thanks for saying that, but I view it from the opposite direction. I view it as I'm offering this, and people are coming to it.
But you have a way of explaining things that makes it easier.
But if there were no deep inner urge for people to want to know this, there's nothing I'm going to do. I can twist your arm, and it wouldn't happen.
Right.
I think this people's inner geek is being revealed, and more people have inner geeks than than the marketing industry ever recognized, or than perhaps people ever knew about themselves.
One more question about diamonds. You taught us about a diamond planet. That's definite. There's a planet out there completely made.
Well, no. So there are objects out there that are mostly carbon, and they're under very high gravitational force, and they're very hot. And you have conditions such as what would make diamonds out of carbon. Because remember, diamond is pure carbon, and so it's a form. Carbon comes in many varieties. Buckyballs were one of them. The carbon 60. Diamonds is one. Graphite in your pencil is another one. By the way, when people said lead pencil, because we just call the graphite in there lead, and then they said you might get lead poisoning. It's not from the lead pencil. It's not. The lead was in the paint, the yellow paint that was on the side of the...
I was chewing those pencils for years.
Yeah, I'd make sure I didn't...
explain everything.
Don't admit that at your next job interview, because lead makes you stupid.
I figured that part was the safe.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking in my mouth.
We all did. I just figured, not the part that you write with.
Right. So this was the big confusion in elementary school growing up. So you would say, okay, as long as I don't chew on the the graphite part, then I'm fine. No, you would.
Oh, that's funny.
I fucking got it.
Yeah, you're totally getting messed up there.
I chewed.
Are they selling moon rocks now? Someone said they were going to put some. It's illegal to sell them, but someone said that they're going to put some of them up for sale.
That's a great question because it has an awesome answer. Did you know how deep the answer would be to that?
I did not. I do know it's illegal to sell them.
Yeah. So moon rocks were brought back from the moon by the Apollo astronauts, and all five, Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's 6 missions. 12 human beings walked on the moon. And in each of those missions, they brought back lunar samples, and they were distributed to laboratories, and they're basically in the possession of the United States government, in the collection of the Smithsonian, last I checked, unless there's been some redistributing of that. So, fine. Now, if you go to an auction and say we're selling a moon rock, it would be illegal if it were those moon rocks. Okay, A. B, maybe they are selling those moon rocks, then it's illegal. But if to do it legally, you know how they do it? Once we brought back a moon rock, we said, oh my gosh, is that what a moon rock looks like? Let's go back to the collection of meteorites in the closet. Whoa! One of these meteorites says, where do meteorites come from? Space! So you find a subset of meteorites that exactly match the rocks brought back from the moon. And we conclude that rocks move from one planetary body to another. And that'll happen when you have an asteroid impact that can basically, the recoil from that impact flings rocks from planetary surfaces into interplanetary space, where they wander until they become into the grips of the gravitational field of another body.
So it is legitimately from the moon. It is.
Yes.
Legit. Okay.
Not only that, a subset of the meteorites that we have in the closet are also from Mars. So we have Martian meteorites, moon meteorites, and the latest evidence suggests that there's some large asteroids out there that have been hit, fragments of which, because when you get hit, fragments scatter everywhere. Some go out to the outer solar system, some come to the inner solar system. So some went in our direction, collided with Earth, and so we have basically space travelers among us. And this is what triggered the idea of panspermia.
What's that? Sounds delicious.
Panspermia. Yeah, that's a new porn flick, right? Panspermia. Peter Pan. So it's the idea that suppose life begins on a planet somewhere, and then life is everywhere, and it's ubiquitous, such as it is on Earth. And imagine this happening on Mars, right at the beginning of the solar system. An asteroid strikes, a rock is flung into space. That rock is coated with Martian life and microbes. If they're microbes that were stowaways in the nooks and crannies, and if they could survive the trip through interstellar space, then this process seeds the formation of life on other planets. And you can say, well, wouldn't they die? Sure they would. But if you didn't die, it meant you were born as a microbe resistant to the temperature extremes and the radiation extremes of space. You would have been the one survivor of those conditions. Then you'd come to Earth with those properties built in. Properties that would never have been selected if you only existed on Earth. On Earth, we find a category of life that we call extremophiles that thrive under conditions that would render us dead fast. And so it's been hypothesized that some of these microbes that do resist extremes of temperature, the tardigrade, you can like practically, it's a tiny little microbe. It's also called a water bear, the cutest little bugger you ever saw. But it's microscopic. Yeah. All right, if you freeze dry that thing, all right, put it in a suspended animation, and 10 years later come up and add water to it, it comes back to life. So why would it need to have that property? Unless it's one of the survivors on the interplanetary ship called panspermia.
So you're saying that's how we may have gotten here? Is it we may have been blasted out from
we
somewhere?
cannot exclude that possibility.
God damn it. Here's the problem with you, is that I'm now going to try to repeat that at a party. And it's just going to come out some guy in the closet with hemorrhoids is selling rocks from everywhere.
Yeah.
And fucking Peter Pan came in his pants. Here we go.
Yeah.
And there's life in these rocks. When will your brain blow up?
Yeah. Do you just go to bed and like stop your brain, or does your brain just keep going when you're laying in bed?
No, it's in fact, I do have to slow it down a bit, otherwise I don't go to sleep. So there are ways to slow it down. Just put on TV.
Drink a little wine.
It slows down the brain entirely. I've spoken to people who meditate, and I found out why they meditate, and I've never really had that need. So no, I've never meditated. I have nothing against it. I've just never found the urge, let me meditate now. No, I've just never had that urge. So those who do say they can find their inner self and they have peace and that, and I'm born and raised in New York. I'm not looking for peace.
You just want noise all the time.
Right, exactly. I was asked by.
I'm trying to get away from the noise.
I was asked by a newspaper one time, where do I go? What place in New York do I go for peace and quiet? And I said I said a noisy bar.
Really?
Yes, because a noisy bar, everybody's busy doing their thing, and I'm with my own species.
Right.
And so there's a certain comfort level there that I have, having grown up in New York City. And so once that happens, it becomes this background din, because there's a cacophony of sounds. Therefore, there's no sound at all. There's no meaningful sound, since it all blends together in the background. And then I enter this acoustic cocoon, and I can have deep thoughts under those conditions.
Just go to Central Park. What are you talking about?
I like the bars.
Speaking of smart, what do you remember the time that you realized you were smarter than your teachers?
I don't.
Yeah.
Do you, for real?
Well, it's not so much smarter, because who knows what that word even means. But I realized I knew stuff that the teacher didn't know.
At about what age?
I was in kindergarten.
No, come on.
Yes. I drew a picture of that. We had to draw some scene. And I drew a picture of the night sky, and I drew the sky with my black crayon, and I put some stars in it. And the teacher said, no, the night sky is dark blue. And I said, no, it's black. Well, I mean, you can't argue with your teacher, but we were differed on that point. Over the weekend, the teacher comes back the next Monday, said, I'm sorry, it was my mistake. Yes, space is black.
You were 5.
Yeah, about 5 or 6, yeah.
Holy crap.
But that's not any big, deep thing. It's just I looked up before, and she hadn't at night. Even though I grew up in New York, I know what colors, where you get a blue color is from daylight. The sunlight scattering into Earth's atmosphere, and at night, the sun isn't up. So it's black where there aren't stars. So that was one. And then in 9th grade, I reported on the geographic latitude of New York City. Well, the teacher said, this is a stupid thing, but I knew it and they didn't. The teacher said New York's latitude was 43 degrees north. And I said, no, I think it's 41 degrees. And he said, no, I'm quite sure it's 40. And over the weekend he comes back and apologized, saying, you're right, it is 41 degrees north. And
so you didn't have the internet back then.
No, yeah, back in the old days.
Makes it even more brilliant.
No, so they just, I knew it. And so, but by the way, that's important, because it tells you that people who are otherwise tasked with teaching you don't know everything. And that doesn't devalue what they do or who they are, but it tells you that there are still things that anyone can learn. And in math, we would call that an existence proof. It's, wow, this person does not know everything. I might have to learn some of this on my own. And it changes how you approach knowledge and the quest to learn what the universe is and what our place is within it.
What was the last thing you learned?
Oh, I try to learn something every day.
All right, what was the last thing? Do you know offhand?
Every day. Yeah, it must have been yesterday. Hang on. If you give me a second,
okay.
I'll get that.
Just being as smart as you are, does it make like watching like movies like Project Almanac or something about time travel just boring? She's like, that's not.
No. If entertainment is entertainment, so no. I mean, yeah, I'll be watching it, see if what they got right, and if they pretend, if there's a pretense that they want to get stuff right, then they got me paying closer attention. If there is no pretense, I'm not paying it any mind at all. Like, for example, in Star Wars. There is no pretense of any physics in Star Wars at all. All right? And
Did I make any mistakes?
So instead, what you do when you have a movie like that is you comb it for things that they happen to get right. So, for example, in Star Wars Episode 4, if I remember my numbers right, there's the scene where Luke is in the desert and he's looking upon the twilight sun, and it's a double star. There are two stars setting, and that became an iconic image of the series even. And I and my astrophysicist know that more than half the stars you see in the night sky are double or multiple star systems. So this is the first time a science fiction story captured that in a beautiful romantic way. And so kudos to that scene, because that's exactly what a double sunset would look like.
Would you go to space if you could? That sounds like a childish question, but now they're talking about taking like non-astronauts into space.
Yeah, so you have to ask. I have a different definition of space than NASA and perhaps most everybody else. Do you remember the dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon?
Felix Baumgartner.
Felix Baumgartner? Okay.
Yes.
How was that marketed? Edge of space jump. Remember that? That was the Red Bull tagline, all right? So then I ran the numbers on it, and I said, well, okay, actually, if you scale Earth down to a schoolroom globe and ask, where is he standing relative to the schoolroom globe, it's 1/16th of an inch above the surface. And so I can't, that's not space to me. It's just not.
I mean, where you're floating. Do they take you out there where you're actually, where you're floating?
No, because, okay, that's a huge misconception. If you just go up, you still have your body weight. The floating part is not because you're in space, it's because you are in orbit. If you're in orbit, you are what is known as free fall towards Earth. And a really cool fact, and most people don't know this, so this is good. Okay, so watch what happens. You remember watching the space shuttle take off? Quickly, the thing starts going downrange instead of straight up. Do you notice this?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of like
this.
Yeah. Exactly.
For real, no.
They noticed.
Now I do.
What's your problem here? You pay attention to this stuff.
No,
right?
I'm paying attention.
Okay,
I grew up in Florida.
Huh?
I grew up in Florida. We used to watch.
Yeah, you watch it all the time. Yeah.
Just looks like it's going up to me.
No, it's not.
Okay.
For a bit.
Right.
And then they execute the roll program, and then the thing goes downrange.
Gotcha. Okay.
Most of the energy in those tanks is to give the thing high speed horizontally, not to go up vertically. And so here's what happens. So there it is going horizontally. In orbit, as defined by Isaac Newton back in 1687. We've known this since then. Here's what the definition of orbit is. You are going sideways so fast that as you fall towards Earth, the curvature of the Earth curves away from you at exactly the same rate you are falling towards Earth, and you never actually collide. It was one of the most brilliant diagrams ever illustrated. Newton wrote something called The System of the World, which was a popular summary of his book, The Principia. And in there, he has a diagram of Earth. And imagine a little mountain on the North Pole, and you have a cannon, and you spit out a cannonball, and it just falls down right in front of you. Suppose you spit it out faster. It's a horizontal cannon. Spit it out faster. It goes farther before it hits the ground, right? Keep doing this. It'll go farther and farther before it hits the ground. It might curve around Earth's surface and hit the South Pole by the time it hits the ground.
Right.
Keep increasing the speed. Now it comes like 3/4 of the way back around. There is a speed where that cannonball will go completely around the Earth, hit you in the back of the head, but instead you duck, and the cannonball continues and repeats exactly as you started it, and there's no fuel, there's no rockets, and that speed for Earth is 17,500 miles an hour.
That's why you're fucking weightless? Are you shitting
That
me?
is why, because you're in free fall. And what is free fall? You go in an elevator, cut the cable.
Right.
Watch what happens. You're standing on a scale in the elevator. You say, I weigh 165 pounds, okay? How much do you weigh?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Someone trimmed a few.
Okay. Okay. 175.
Do me.
You're 340.
You're 7 pounds off. That certainly is my goal weight there.
I used to wrestle, so I think body weight all the time. So what was I doing? So you're in an elevator, and you can read the scale, right?
Yeah.
And so now someone cuts the cable. Well, the scale reads that because you are squeezing against the floor, and you stuck a scale in between to measure how much you're squeezing the springs, okay? You cut the elevator cable, the elevator falls, the scale falls, and you fall. No longer are you squeezing the scale. And so you become weightless. If you're holding a pen right in front of your eyes, and then let go of it, while the elevator's falling, you're falling, everybody's falling together, the pen will appear to be suspended right in front of your eyes. So, in space, when you are free falling to any direction, you are weightless. But the moment you have your engines on, you are no longer weightless. And in fact, there's talk of running your engines halfway to Mars, so that you feel this artificial gravity, so you don't get this sort of bone mass loss
so when
that
they
you
do
get when you're in zero G. So here's what you do: you run your engines halfway to Mars at 1 G. So that's like Earth, right? Then you turn around this, but you're going really fast by then. You turn around the spacecraft and run the engines in the opposite direction to slow you down at 1 G. And that way you're 1G the whole trip. There's none of this, I'm weightless and I throw up, or I got to exercise to keep the bone mass and the muscles. And so that's another way to do this trip.
Wow.
Or you spin up a space station and then you live on the perimeter of it, which is what was shown in 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so when they're doing like a quick course correction, or they have to do, to avoid something, they actually lose their weightlessness when they do that?
Oh, if they run the engines, what will happen is everything that's floating, you'll see it drift to one side or another. And during the time, they can move the ship. If you're floating in the air while they're moving the ship, you're still weightless, but the ship will then catch up with you to one side, and then you'll feel weight just as long as the engines are burning.
So you'd want to be on the space station at least.
I wouldn't mind, but if you're going to put me in space,
yeah,
I want to go somewhere. I don't want to just be driving around the block all day. Look, but up until 1972, we were going places. We went to the freaking moon. And by the way, you want to know how far away the moon is by comparison? But you know how high up the space station is orbiting? About 3/8 of an inch above Earth's surface. And we've been calling that space. 3/8 of an inch above a schoolroom globe.
Right.
So we've been calling, and to me, the astrophysicist, that's not space. If you want to put me in space, send me somewhere. Send me back to the moon, onto Mars, to an asteroid, or to a comet, and ride a comet around the sun. That's where I want to go. If I'm going to risk my life going into space, that's what I want to do. I don't want to just go driving around the block.
Is space tourism doing? Oh, sorry. Is space tourism doing that? Because I meant in orbit, like where you feel like you're floating.
Okay, so here's the thing: you can go into orbit and you're weightless continuously. The cheap way to do that is they take you up to like 60 miles. Okay? And at that altitude, the atmosphere is so thin, it's no longer glowing sky blue, and you can see stars in the daytime. All right? So that's the operational definition of what people are calling space. I personally don't like that definition because it means if our atmosphere were half as thick, then space would be at 30 miles. If it was 1/4 as thick, then space would be 15 miles up. If we didn't have atmosphere at all, it would just be Earth's surface. So what does it mean then to define space just above your atmosphere? So, but here's what happens. They take you up to that height and then sort of shut off the engines, and you start falling to Earth. That's no different from cutting the cables on an elevator. So you're weightless for like 5 minutes or something, depending on how high up they go.
The vomit comet.
The vomit comet.
Right.
It's in a trajectory. The vomit comet would go in a trajectory where they shut off their engines, and it takes a sort of a parabolic path back to Earth. And during that time, you are weightless just as you would be if you were in orbit. But in orbit, you're weightless continuously.
The elevator experiment sounds great, but you can't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
So I had the pen in front of my eyes and it's floating. Well, that's the problem. You can't tell anyone at the end of your experiment.
The first rule of scientific experiments, you want to be alive at the end of the experiment.
Well, there was one elevator that fell. The elevators have something called I think it's called the gunner, which will eventually grip. And in the Empire State Building, one fell a few years ago. almost 80 stories, I want to say.
my
But the people
goodness.
lived because eventually
It slowed it down, whatever.
It gripped, yeah.
I'm hearing you got to go, but
Yes.
to quickly, isn't it a shame that we didn't go back to the moon since, 1972, I believe?
What do you think my answer is to that question?
Oh,
I think you're going to say...
frustration. No, I guess my point is we had a great start, and 72, we just pretty much stopped as far as that goes.
Yeah,
we
because-
should have been on Mars by now.
Right. So
Hey, could you real quick explain the moon in inches from the school globe? So I can
yeah, yeah. So, all right. So, thanks for your time. So, if you have a schoolroom globe of the Earth, you can ask how far away is the moon. Now, we're so accustomed to seeing that distance represented in a textbook, where the Earth is on one side of the page and the moon is on the other. Most people get that wrong. They would put it maybe 2 feet away or something. No, the moon would be 30 feet away from that moon, across outside your room in the neighboring room. This is a sense of why the astronauts really went somewhere rather than just driving around the block. Now you want to know where Mars is? Mars would be a mile away.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Really fast, the Horizon satellite.
I don't know, what is that? I don't know.
The New Horizon satellite. Sorry.
New Horizons. Yeah, sure. That's like next month. It will be closer to Pluto.
We're close.
It will be close enough to Pluto to take photos that are better than the best photos we've ever been able to take with Hubble. So you're going to start seeing photos of Pluto making headlines beginning next month. Then in July, there's the flyby of Pluto, where we get the best images ever. And we'll learn Pluto and its system of moons. It's got at least 5 moons. And so even though I was, raked over the coals for participating in the reassignment of Pluto's status, this is a great thing. Pluto's been in our culture for 80 years, and it's high time we've got some good data on it.
We're going to get to know Pluto.
That's a beautiful. That's
Getting to know
beautiful.
Pluto.
Jim, that's beautiful.
Thank you very much. We have to, Neil deGrasse Tyson has to leave. It's Star Talk. It's Mondays at 11 o'clock on Nat Geo.
Well, it's the first talk show on science ever in the history of television. We did some homework on that. We think that's correct. And so you were saying earlier that am I making people listen? No, there's an appetite out there, and we're serving. I'm a servant of the public's
it's the way
appetite.
you sell it.
You serve it up right.
I want to see this because you have Christopher Nolan, and you're going to discuss the science of Interstellar, which I hear wasn't that
Well, this
bad.
coming Monday.
Yeah.
It's advisor, a PhD cosmologist, expert on relativity. So if you're gonna bust a move with relativity, get somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's a colleague of mine at Caltech, who's Kip Thorne is his name, and he was not only advisor to it, he helped advise on the story, as well as he became executive producer. So
on the graphics, right, to make it look so realistic, because I've had certain wormhole theories which were just shot to heck.
He's got it. They're panicking.
Okay.
All right, you got TV. Neil deGrasse Tyson,
All
always
right,
a
guys.
pleasure. Neil Tyson on Twitter.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you.
Star
And
Talk
good to meet you. It was
Mondays
very good
at
meeting you.
11 p.m. on Nat Geo.
More with Opie and Jim after this.
The announcement you have all been waiting for from Steven Singer Jewelers is here. The brand new rose color for Mother's Day 2015 is pink champagne. Give her a rose that is the perfect symbol of love and celebration. It's the perfect gift at the perfect price for all the moms in your life. Can you imagine? Steven Singer's famous 24-karat gold dip roses are a great gift for Mother's Day, starting at just $59. This real long stem rose is lavishly and deeply dipped in 24-karat pure gold. Thank you, Neil. It's a gift that will last forever, so why worry about Mother's Day already? Because Steven Singer sells out of this gift every single year, and he wants to make sure you get the first shot at ordering his brand new color, pink champagne. It's beautiful. Limited quantities are available, so order yours today. Steven makes it very easy. Just go online to IHateStevenSinger.com. You can check out the roses for yourself and other things for Mother's Day, by the way, and you can reserve one of the roses for your mommy today. The perfect gift at the perfect price. One place, one price. Steven Singer Jewelers. On the phone, 1-888 I Hate Steven Singer, or online at IHateStevenSinger.com.
Every NBA and NHL playoff game is on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app. Each league's biggest stars. Have one goal in mind.
If he's a 50-year-old male, Big Lou may be able to get him a large amount of coverage for the same $200 you spend on a gym membership and fad diets each month. Big Lou can show you affordable rates for $1 million in coverage, instantly making your man a bit more attractive, if you know what I mean. So get the scoop on affordable term life insurance by calling Big Lou at 800-426-1723. 800-426-1723. Remember, Big Lou is like him. It's been years since anyone has called him Slim. Call and speak with Lou. 800-426-1723.
Maybe you're not thinking about your thinning hair yet, but you do not want to be one of those guys sporting a sweet comb-over in his 30s. You'll end up paying for products and procedures to try to get your hair back. Good thing you can do something to keep the hair you have now. Purador Premium Hair Loss Prevention Therapy Shampoo blends proven organic ingredients to help strengthen your hair and block DHT. That's what causes baldness. Purador has none of the harsh chemical.
Recently, this happened on Opie and Jimmy.
So some of these people that live inside your head do die?
Oh, yeah. They come and go quickly.
They just move along?
Yeah. They're around. They just kind of go in the back in a file.
Right.
And they never come out again. They have nothing to contribute.
I learned something about the characters in general yesterday.
That I didn't know. What did you learn?
I learned that none of them drink.
It's true.
Although a couple of them do get a little loopy on rum raisin ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Paul has gotten fucked up on rum candy. Like, a lot of times he doesn't know what he's doing. He gets all loud. He would be molesty on rum candy and Chip eats rum raisin. Yeah.
I learned that you do these voices all day long to yourself.
Yeah, I do. In the house. I'm not even kidding.
It's not healthy.
I just assumed you just did it around your friends and for the radio show. I didn't know you were just walking around your apartment doing this.
Let me say, I'll tell you this truthfully.
Okay.
90% of Chip and Uncle Paul is heard by no one but me.
Wow, that's nutty. Wow.
Are you doing it out loud?
Well, of course. It'd be creepy if I didn't.
Does Jim Norton talk to him?
No, they just chat. It's just fun to do.
They just chat with each other?
Yeah, they've gotten worse since I've been single for so long. It's kind of like, it just happens.
No wonder you want a girlfriend.
Yeah, I need somebody to stop them.
Someone is saying you ripped off Uncle Paul. That is just ridiculous.
This is silly. Who's that?
That's true.
Paul in Jersey. Paul.
Hey.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, man.
I'm only busting. But, Jimmy, your character, Uncle Paul, he's very reminiscent of a Saturday Night Live character they used to do back in the late 70s.
Oh, what?
I think his name was Buck Owens. He used to play a babysitter.
Oh, wasn't it Buck Henry?
Buck Henry, that's it.
Yeah, Buck Henry.
Honestly, I don't even know the character you mean.
Yeah,
I believe you, but
it
I don't
was
know
in
the
the
character.
very early days of Saturday Night Live. The character was Uncle Roy, I believe.
Oh, wow. I'm not familiar with Uncle Roy.
Yeah, we got, huh?
He was a babysitter. He was also a child molester. And they used to do some real outlandish shit back then. Like, there was one thing where, people would lose their minds today, where the girls would sit on a glass table and he would take pictures.
That's fucking funny.
It is, but they would lose their mind over that. I mean,
Yeah.
the girls would go through his pockets and all that. I mean, it was really bad. Do you remember the Burt Reynolds sketch where Burt Reynolds posted, he played himself as a very cocky character? He went over to a fan's house just so he could sleep with their teenage daughters.
Wow.
And they explicitly said that they were 15 and 16. So again, I think this was Buck Henry again saying, what are you going to do with them? He goes, I'm just going to take them over to the hotel, have sex with them, and kick them out.
Wow.
People would lose their mind if that happened.
I wonder how many skits have been banned by SNL as far as re-showing them.
Ones they couldn't do.
Right. But you can you can find most of them on online.
I'll tell you where Uncle Paul comes from, or the evolution of it was and again, this is after this Uncle Roy thing.
Uncle Paul comes from buried memories.
No, that was a good memory, Uncle Roy, because I couldn't remember that, and I couldn't find that anywhere online.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember it. But when I was, I guess in the 90s, I was dating a girl, and I would do characters. What eventually became Edgar was known as Little Mouth Man. There was no, and Uncle Larry was the name. It was not Uncle Paul back then. It was Uncle Larry, who was like the molesty uncle. He talked different. And then, and Chip was like Roger Davis. I've told this story before. Roger Davis was the original, and he had a brother, Stewie, who he looked up to, Stewart, who was just like white trash. And he had another brother, I think Lester was his name, who was burned in a fire everywhere except below the knees. So he always wore knickers to show off his unburned calves.
So that was the backstory on the character.
Yeah, there was so much more.
All right.
Like his mother was white trashy too, kind of like Chips. I just don't remember. I have no recordings of it.
You've been doing these characters for like 20 years. In the 90s.
No, I would say, well, when did I date Little Oh, my God, dude.
90s are now 20 years ago.
Yes.
I was 20.
At least.
Because the girl I was dating, her name was Liz. So this was probably, I dated her after Tina, who I was dating when it might have been 17, 18 years ago, yeah. Wow, I forgot about that. I didn't realize it that long ago.
Horribly unproductive use of
I know,
your brain. I mean,
know.
it couldn't be less productive.
Listen to Opie and Jimmy every morning here on Opie Radio.
Hey guys, welcome back. FanDuel.
It's not a welcome back.
FanDuel is changing the way people play fantasy baseball. I'm bad at this. It's more fun than ever signing up now to play one-day fantasy baseball at FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com, the leader in one-day fantasy baseball for real money without immediate cash payouts. Entry fees start at just $1. Stop waiting 6 months to win a league. Stop what you're doing. Play today. Win tonight. Take your girl out with all that extra cash. You're like, what I'm doing? Oh, here we go. I lost my place. I shouldn't look at Opie. Pick a brand new team and just play any way you want all day. No season-long commitments and no upfront fees. It's just baseball. Play NHL, play NBA playoff games on FanDuel too. David W. from Tampa. I knew that dude growing up. He won $29,975 on opening day this season on FanDuel, and so did Danny S. and Richard C. from Largo. I just add that in. I fucking lost my place again. Who won? They both won $13,000 and $5,000 respectively. FanDuel is paying out more than $2.5 million every single day this MLB season, but you have to play to win. So sign up today. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use the code OPIE, O-P-I-E, and sign up now, all capital letters. Special offer for new users. Every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match with up to $200. That gets earned as soon as you play. Go to FanDuel.com and use the promo code OPIE. FanDuel.com. I love you.
This is Opie Radio, Sirius 206, XM 103. The show is back.
No, you're good at reading. That was good, Bert Kreischer.
By the way, can I tell you that I dropped some knowledge on Who Kid about Waka Flocka Flame, the guy he's been touring with?
Touring, they're going to try for the presidency.
Yeah,
those two.
I know.
They'll never win.
I just dropped some knowledge on Waka Flocka Flame getting called out in the hood.
What'd you say?
I was telling him a story about Waka Flocka Flame.
How do you know the story?
I know Waka Flocka Flame because my kids say to me every morning before they go to school, go hard in the motherfucking paint.
Yeah, leave you stankin'.
Yeah.
Fuck you thanking.
Fucking word is bonds. Garbage.
It's no fun to be had.
I want to thank Neil deGrasse Tyson for coming in. It always reminds us of Michio Kaku, another guy that tries to explain the universe to me and Jimmy and everyone else that's in here on a regular basis. But you saw him yesterday, Jimmy, in your building again?
Yep. Walked by. Hello.
Again?
Every time.
Unbelievable.
Every time.
I guess because he doesn't want to be distracted with all the stuff he's thinking about at that very moment, right?
He could say hi, I guess.
It would be nice.
He could say hi.
Bert.
Yes.
You asking do me next is going to make me laugh all day. It's going to make me laugh all day. do me.
That makes my day.
He's Neil deGrasse Tyson, very kind when he's trying to figure out how much you weigh. He gave me a nice 7 pounds less. It's going to make me feel good all day long.
It was a good call.
Did you just get back from New Zealand?
No. I was in New Zealand though recently for Trip Flip.
I think we might have talked about that on the phone, actually, maybe. How was it?
It was fucking insane.
Everyone talks about how amazing this place is, and if it wasn't so damn far away,
It's not that far.
They would either visit it more or go live there.
It's not that far comparatively speaking. I mean, I went to Vietnam recently, and it was a 33-hour flight home. That is aggressive. It's just out of L.A., it's a 13-hour flight. It's extremely doable. It's just like flying to London from L.A., in my opinion.
Right.
It's just, it's just a couple more hours. And it is, and I say this honestly, it is otherworldly. It is like a place you've never seen. We were down in Queenstown, and it's the most beautiful place I've ever been. The people are all gorgeous. It's like Australia, but much more textured. Like Australia in the Rocky Mountains, but with like parts of Switzerland and Germany. I'm being serious when I say this. If you have one trip to take with you and your chick, go to New Zealand. And if you have a group of friends, say like Sam's age, where they all get a little bit of money and they want to have a crazy trip, that's when you go to Vietnam. God, Vietnam's freaking amazing.
It's cheap too.
Dude, we stayed in Ha Long Bay on a junk boat. It was $600 a night. Agatha Christie style, all teak wood, staterooms. You have your own chef, your own captain. They take you out to the most amazing places.
How many people can stay there for $600 a night total? Or
13. 13.
Oh, okay.
You split 600 among 13 people.
It is rooms. It's 3 stories.
Right.
There's rooms on everyone. I had a full stateroom with a bathroom. There were like 3 of those on the top deck. There's rooms all around the center deck, and the crew will just go over to people like pulling up lobster pots or just pulling their nets and just go get freshest fucking food I've ever had. It was amazing.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 5 days.
How were the lady boys?
I didn't see any.
That's Thailand, you're thinking?
Yeah, Thailand.
I bet you Vietnam has a few lady boys wandering around.
I don't know. I didn't see. I think it's definitely. Well, Brody Stevens was talking about it. He went to one of those lady boy things. I think it's definitely in Bangkok in Thailand.
Right.
Yeah. That's like real big there.
Well, yeah, that's the epicenter, but I would assume they're elsewhere.
No, we didn't see any of that. We drove motorcycles through Hanoi, so it was like absolute fucking chaos. Like one of the scariest things. I was on one of these old Russian Urals, so I had to feather the the entire time, feather the gas and hold the clutch. It was Vietnam's fucking spectacular. So was Japan. I mean,
New Zealand was nice. That New Zealand sounds the most appealing out of those.
Did you do any of those activities? Those outdoor activities?
I've done all those activities. I've just
the bouncy ball or whatever. You get inside the middle of that. What is it called?
It's called a Zorb. I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that in a couple of weeks. I've done that with Rachel Ray. I've done that a bunch. I tried to take that into Big Surf one time. I thought that would work. Like get inside there, go out into the waves, and get thrown around. I thought that would be badass.
Right.
But it's a very dangerous because you're trapped inside plastic. So if it pops, you just suffocate and die.
Right.
I didn't think that went through.
Did you try it though?
I tried, yeah, and they stopped me very quickly.
So you've gone to the top of these hills and just let it go all the way down as you're in the middle of it?
I've done
How does that feel?
It's pretty fun. You put in like water and you'll put like soap in there, and so you're kind of out of control. We do it with like 5
Soap
people.
and water? Why?
So you can slide. It's like a slip and slide. So you go inside the ball. The ball's hollow. It's all cushioned. You can do it out by Dollywood in Tennessee. That's the best place to do it.
Did you get dizzy?
No, you don't. You don't spin. You stay the same. So I wish Neil Tyson DeGrasse was here to talk this through.
No, it's deGrasse Tyson. It only spelled deGrasse Tyson on the pad data. Grassee.
But you stay in the center, so it's like you're inside the ball and you're sudsy and you're kind of slip and sliding down the ball.
Oh, so as the ball's rolling,
you don't flip around.
I got you.
Oh.
Yeah. But I thought you do a lot of bouncing down some of those hills though too.
Oh yeah, you get some air. You get some definite air, but you
were you freaked out?
I've been freaked out so fucking much. Hope you have no fucking idea.
But on that.
No, that's when you get hurt though. When you're not freaked out. Like I fell off a waterfall the other day.
What do you mean you can't just say that casually?
It was fucking terrifying. But I was rappelling down a waterfall. Something I've done a million times. I'm really comfortable rappelling. I'm really comfortable rock climbing. And I got into this real epiphanous moment, sitting in the waterfall, 40-degree water slamming on my head, and I'm just like, this is the greatest life. I'm so lucky to work for Travel Channel. Kind of kick out to explore a little bit, come back. Slip, waterfall flips me upside down, and I just drop 15 feet on my back. Just goosh, knocked the wind out of myself, and literally thought I broke my back. No questions asked. I knew it. I broke my back. I broke my ribs, and I'm in a canyon 210 feet down. I got to now crawl out on my hands and knees.
Wow.
Oh, it was terrifying. But that's when you get hurt. It's the real dangerous shit where you survive because you're so scared.
Right.
But it's the stuff you get like the most hurt I've probably ever been was that. And then before that, I was on a blob in Texas.
What's a blob?
It's one of those inflatable big balloons they put in a lake. Someone jumps off a dock.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And they shoot you up.
And you go flying.
And I went flying, and I didn't want to flip, and so I kicked my hamstrings out. Like trying to run and like fright my body. I kicked both my hamstrings out of just thunk, and then couldn't walk, couldn't move.
Did they rise up?
Yeah,
toward your knee.
Everything. It was.
You ever have that in the middle of the night?
Oh, it was the most painful thing.
Where your calf muscle actually decides it needs to go, toward your knee.
Yeah, it's awful.
And you have to grab it immediately to try to hold it in place. Like, don't do this.
I was stuck like this. Like, I couldn't extend my legs. I was stuck like this.
What were you doing? Just running?
I was in a blob and I got shot up and I tried to right myself by running.
In the air.
And I just kicked both my hamstrings out. And I was at a Christian youth camp. And they were like, I always travel with Vicodin because in case you get hurt, you need something to have on hand.
Good excuse.
So I popped some Vicodins.
Good excuse.
And then they all come into the camp and they all sit around the bed. And the pastor's like, "Are y'all thinking what I'm thinking?" And they're like,
"Let's
yeah.
rape them."
No, that's not what happened.
Oh, well.
He's like, "Let's pray on you." Right. So they all put their hands on me and prayed on me. And then and I was high as shit, and I was just fucking like, "Oh, this is so surreal." And I didn't know what to do with my hands, so I put them on the inner thighs of the two kids next to me. Just held their inner thighs.
Just healing. Everyone's healing.
You are nuts.
Everyone's getting better.
And what else do they do in New Zealand? They do some of that.
We went spelunking. I was talking to Roland about that. Spelunking.
Yeah. I would like to do that. Why?
They get you in. You go into the cave, kind of zip line in a little bit.
Right.
And you get pretty deep, and there's water rushing through. And then the guy goes, "All right, everyone in the birthing canal." And you get into a hole that is the size of your body. Your head is touching the top of it, and the water's at your chin, and you are just breathing on your, crawling like a marine crawl through this birthing canal that gets you into the cave. And once you go through it, there's no getting out. Water's rushing past you, and I was literally all I could think in
claustrophobic?
Horrifically claustrophobic.
Yeah, that sounds like...
It's that panic where you just go, I just want to grab something.
So the water's up to your chin.
Up to my chin.
The top of your head's hitting the top of the cave or whatever, or this passageway, and then the walls on the sides.
You couldn't do this. It was shoulders.
So you're squeezing your arms together.
And you're crawling like this.
Holy fuck, how long do you have to do that for?
About, probably, honestly, about 15 feet.
Right.
But
I mean, how far down are you?
Oh, you're in the middle of the earth. You're down into this cave.
But what, 1,000 feet or so?
Oh, no, not 1,000 feet. Probably.
Couple hundred feet?
Probably 100 feet. Probably maybe 200 feet, 210 feet.
All right, continue, sorry.
And so then they get you in, and then the water starts really pumping through. And the guy, there was a moment where the guy says to me, he's like, "All right, so I'm going to push you in. What I want you to do is you're going to feel water. Get behind the water. You'll be behind the waterfall, and then you're going to take yourself and climb through that water. You're going to have to hold your breath, and maybe 100 gallons of water is pumping on your head. So you go in, and it is not, you're in a closet, but imagine a closet if a fucking waterfall is hitting over you, and you're standing behind it trying to breathe.
Clothes would get wet.
And it was fucking, and then we had to scramble up this waterfall throughout this trek, probably 210 feet.
How cold is it?
Freezing. You're in dry suits. And so it is, and what was crazy is I got two travelers, I got two cameramen and a sound guy, and I know production well enough to know that when we lost sound, I was like, this has not been vetted. No one knows how fucking tight this is. We're in this already, and we just got to get out with everything. And I got two travelers, so they'd get you into a place, and then they'd put you in a hole. And go, stay here, the guides. And you just be sitting claustrophobic as fuck, squatting in no room whatsoever, water up to your chest, and you just be waiting for everyone to go. You couldn't just get out if you wanted to.
Right.
And then they took us into one, and this fucking eel showed up. I was like, motherfucker! It was insane. But here's the thing is I look back, I go, was it worth it? 100%. I love telling the story, but there's moments where you're in there and you're just like, this is like this.
Does it ever open up where you could relax and go, wow, this is pretty cool down
here? It opens up, and then I see 20 fucking Japanese women just in inner tubes floating right by us. I'm like,
just enjoying their day.
Well, where the fuck did you guys go? And he goes,
they found the easy way in.
He goes, there's two routes. We took the hard one.
Oh, God.
I was like, I could have been in an inner tube with Japanese chicks.
On a lazy river?
It's a lazy fucking river. They're literally carefree. I walk out with my hands, my life in my hands going, and I see these women picture. Fucking.
They've been tanning themselves for the last hour. That's funny.
Did you leave the same way you came in, or is it?
No, you go all the way through, and then we had to have an hour hike to get back to where the cars were. So like you get out, you open up. I don't know if you see the episode. When I come out of the cave, it is the best. It's like a fucking like thank God look. And I'm looking at what I'm doing is I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm looking at my producing partner Paul, and I'm going, no one fucking vetted this. No one fucking vetted this. And he's like, was it good? Did we get good footage? And I'm like, oh, I thought I was gonna die. And he's like, okay, good. I'm glad we got something. And
How is it jumping off the thing in Vegas?
Stratosphere?
Yeah.
Oh, I was the first person to do it.
Yeah.
It was fucking... that was the first time where I woke up in the middle of the night, had a full panic attack, and I was like, I've made some really poor life decisions. I was like, I've made all my decisions drunk. I never thought anything through. I decided to be a comic just drunk one night. I want to be a comedian. Then I did it. I want to be on... And I called my wife. I was like, I'm going to run away. I'm not going to do it. And she was like, what? I go, I'm renting a car. I'm fucking disappearing. I go, I can't do this. They're dropping water dummies at the time. Fucking water dummies are hitting. And so she goes, no, call the producer, say, you can't do it. Tell him you can't do it. So I called Dan Adler. I go, I can't do it.
Right.
He's like, okay, that's fine. He goes, that's fine. There's going to be stuff that you can't do. We get it. But we need you not to do it at the edge. Like, don't do it at the edge. You just can't tap out at the bottom. Don't do it at the edge. So I go, I can do that. So like now I'm confident as fuck. I'm like, get me in the outfit. Who wants to do that? Like,
why? Because you know you're going to back out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get up to the thing. And go, oh, I can't do it, and I'm fine with being a coward. I'm totally fine.
And
with
that would actually help the stratosphere that someone was so scared people would actually want to go and do it.
And it makes for great TV.
Yeah, and
obviously.
so I get up there. I get up there. I'm locked in. I'm harnessed in. I'm doing reads. I'm calm because I know I'm backing the fuck out.
Hold on, let me walk you. Sorry, but
hit pause on that. Hit pause on that, and I'll show you this is fascinating.
You walk out like you're in the outfit, right? And then what do? You walk out to the edge.
It's like a diving board. It's like a diving board. It's all encased in glass. There's a huge, what looks like a fishing reel in there, and you see it going. It's like a spool, and they harness you in, and then you lean out, and the thing pulls you as you harness. Like when they hook you into the back, you're definitely pulled off, so you're holding on. And my cameraman's on the side, and all of a sudden I see him like go to his walkie in his ear, and he starts laughing, and I go, what? And he goes, hey man, nothing for nothing. This guy's Scott Sands, by the way, and he's a big fan of the show. Nice. Scott Sands says, what's up, Scott? Nothing for nothing. I just fucking jump. I go, what? And he goes, listen, man, the mayor's down there with a shot of tequila with dancing girls. Fucking everyone's here. He goes, there's like a third grade class behind you chanting your name. He's like, you can jump right now and have 16 seconds of terror, or you can explain for the next 5 years why you didn't fucking jump. So I just fucking go, fuck it, I'm jumping. I'm fucking jumping.
Did he jump with you?
No, he's harnessed into the side of the stratosphere. This guy's fucking fearless. He's fucking one of the best cameramen I've ever worked with. So I go, fuck it, and I just jump. I land. It is maybe second best moment of my entire life, better than the birth of my second daughter. It is, the mayor greets me, do his shot, showgirls are going, this is when poker was big, all the poker guys are there, they're high-fiving me, fucking film crews are getting it, awesome. We get down, my producer goes, we missed it.
No.
I said, what? She goes, we missed it. We didn't know you were going to jump, so we didn't have audio down here, we didn't have camera ready down here, like, we got nothing. She goes, you need to jump again. I was like, fuck you, and I left. I go, you can piece it together. I fucking jumped. Month later, they go, Travel Channel calls and like, we're sending you back to the stratosphere. You got to jump. We didn't get any footage on it. So if you watch that episode, you will see the mayor, the showgirls, everyone. You'll see the whole buildup of me holding on, the kids chanting my name. And then when I land, it's fucking 3 janitors that they just pulled out to like try to make it look big because we had to reshoot it. And they're like, I'm like, how you doing, guys?
My ex did that. We went and had lunch with Dana White and looked at the stratosphere, and he goes, you know, you can jump off that. And I guess the relationship was not going well because she's like, can we have a cab right now? So she went on that ride you're pointing at, that thing that takes you out over the
oh yeah, Insanity.
What is that? That's where you get hover over the fucking drop?
Yeah, the 3 rides up on top of Stratosphere are easily as thrilling, if not more thrilling than sky jump, in my opinion. Insanity, it takes you out, swings you out over, and then it fans you out so you're facing down, and it spins you in a circle. The other one drops you. It is like the biggest fear in the world. It's that coaster that it falls, and you slide down, and you basically, if you're sitting in front, it feels like you're falling off the edge of the stratosphere.
Yeah, you stop sure. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's you.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, how scary was that when you fell for 16 seconds?
It was fucking terrifying.
You were out of your fucking mind.
It's a controlled descent, technically, which is really scary, but...
Oh my!
Can you make it bigger, Sam?
This roller coaster. Get the fuck
and
out
they have the numbers in front. It's interfering with the video.
Stratosphere Sky Jump, number 2.
The True Network just asked if I'd do Bert the Conqueror again. They were like, it still does well. And they're like, would you do it again? And I was like, fuck, I'll do it. Yeah. So these rides, by the way, are more thrilling, if not, I mean, in my opinion, because they're scary as shit, and they're just mechanics. Things fucking break. So that's all that's going in my head is this could just clink and then.
So you're going, you're nose diving in like a one car fucking roller coaster thing, and it just stops you.
Yeah.
How long do you go down for?
Dude, it's like a seesaw. So you're sitting like this, and then you see, and then all of a sudden you start rolling, and it's rolling with a real inertia. There's nothing like that. You don't feel any weight stopping you, and you just go zoom and stop. And then what it'll do is the ride will go like this, like it broke, and it is fucking intense. The second jump off the stratosphere is scarier than the first one, because the first one you're so wrapped up in it, and you're like, oh my god, there's a target. I'm going to the target. Oh, I slowed down. The second time you're doing it, and this is the same with skydiving, you're more aware of the target and you're more aware of the stop. So you're like, oh fuck, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work again? Is this gonna work? The second jump was harder for me, in my opinion.
If you had done that like 10 times in a row, would it get easier each time, you think? Like if you didn't have a big break in between it?
Yeah, I think so. Like my big thing right now, and I'm trying to do this in the States, I've got a company in South Africa that I was working with to try to open up a rope swing. Rope swings are hands down, but no questions asked, the most thrilling thing you can do. Above skydiving, bungee jumping, just short of base jumping, technically, in my opinion. But like, it is amazing. We did one in Moses Mabhida Stadium, which is like 360 feet, 370 feet, and you free fall for all of it. You free fall for all of it, and then at the last second it catches you and swings you out. It is amazing. I did one in Interlaken, Switzerland, where you go into a canyon, and there's a 410 feet, and the guy says to me, hey, lift your feet up, because you might hit the rock. And you're just like, I'm like, hey man, don't fuck around with me, because I need to know this. He's like, no, just lift your feet up. You literally stop falling 15 feet shy of the ground. And you swing through this canyon, and I swear to God, you come to that rock, and you're like, I'm fucking hitting it. But missed it. I'm really badly trying to find a stadium that'll let us open a rope swing, because it is easily the most thrilling thing out there.
And is it fun ever?
It's fun as fuck. It's the moment after. It's not up on the edge. It's the free fall's insane. There's nothing like that feeling. But it's when you're done, you've never felt more alive. It's like you have a secret.
I want to see you.
I want to see these. Yeah, because
I want to see you jumping off the stratosphere.
Oh, can I see the fucking car thing first? Whatever I'm babbling.
The roller coaster?
Yeah, I just want to see it stop, because I watched it from I have never seen it from this angle.
Fucking shit. The 3 most intense rides in the world. The 3 highest rides in the world. I mean, they're 112 stories above the Vegas Strip. But they've also got a new ride called Sky Jump, which I opened, which is the tallest controlled descent in the world.
There's all the people.
855 feet. You get put into a flight suit, you go to the observation deck, they hook you into a carabiner that's attached to what looks like a giant fishing reel with a big propeller turbine on the side, and you jump, and you free fall for 16 seconds. And at the end of the 16 seconds, the last 45 feet, they slow you down enough, hopefully, to stop and land on your feet. Yeah. And you've never felt more alive.
No one's fucking there.
If you're going on a bachelor party soon to Vegas, this is what you do. Like, no one's fucking there.
I love saying that after the story you told. There was no one at the bottom.
There's no one at the bottom. It's so sad.
Because you had to do it a second time.
Do you understand I would have murdered my producers if I did that and they said we didn't get it?
You would have been happy. That's really funny. There was no one there.
There was no one there. I was already done a shot at tequila with the fucking mayor. The mayor's out there. And this is the mayor that was like the sketchy Vegas mayor. Showgirls. It was like the great. I mean, like I was a celebrity. I walked around in that flight suit for the day and everyone was like, hey, Bert the Conqueror. I was like, what's up?
You couldn't get the camera ready in the 16 seconds you were falling?
No.
Just turn it on.
No. Just well, there's also no audio. So even if they have the camera, it's just silent film.
Right.
The audio bag's up top where I'm doing reads.
Yeah, it's kind of important to get your reaction to the whole thing.
It's the thing that ruins television. I like doing that. I like telling you the story because when you see it, you're like, oh shit, that really did suck.
So your cameraman, what do you mean he was on the side of the stratosphere? Where was he?
This guy was fucking fearless. He still is fearless, I'm sure. He was harnessed in. So wherever that thing is, there's obviously like nuts and bolts. This guy goes in, throws in a couple carabiners, a few daisy chains, and gets in his harness and just hangs off below me, off to the side, 1,100 feet over the strip.
Was he scared?
Fearless. This guy was so fucking badass. And I'm not shitting on my current camera guys, but like he rigged that day I got hurt on that blob. He rigged a zip line personally. He privately rigged a zip line from a tow truck who had one of those cranks, those winches. He took that, ran it across a lake or like a river type thing to a truck on the other side, and then harnessed himself in and made his own zip line so that he could get a shot that when someone jumped, he was zip lining, and you see the guy jump, but he's still continuously moving, and he could catch the next guy coming off.
Oh my God.
Scott Sands was a beast, but apparently he doesn't want to work on Bert the Conqueror this season. So Scott, if you're listening,
why doesn't he?
Because he's a Steadicam operator for fucking Jim Gaffigan's new show.
That's a little safer.
Yeah,
he's in semi-retirement, is what you're saying.
But he was so fearless. It's like sometimes you work with cameramen who are like, "Dude, this isn't safe. This is not safe."
Is there one thing you just said, "Fuck no," to?
Base jumping.
You just because you're back, probably.
No. It just there was a weight limit, and the guy was like, "We can fucking totally fudge it if you need us to." And I was like, "No, I can't." I was like, "No, I don't want you to. I don't want to skin." He's like, "I mean, it'll work. It'll be fine. You're not going to die." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but base jumping is like the one activity that my
What is
wife."
base jumping? That's not when you bungee. That's when you jump with what? One of those.
You just jump with a parachute off a bridge, and there are so many base jumping accidents.
Yep.
It is. I went swimming with sharks one time, and our camera woman was swimming out of the cage, getting us in the cage, and she said, and by the way, swimming with great white sharks in South Africa, one of the greatest fucking experiences of my life.
I did that.
Did you?
No, of course he didn't.
Bert.
What was it like? Where did you go?
Just fucking hitting them.
Oh. What'd you hit him with?
Fucking fist.
How many did you?
About 6.
You punched 6 sharks.
I know.
How were you underwater that long?
Just hold my fucking breath, cocksucker. Go ahead, Bert.
You didn't have scuba equipment or anything?
Stop asking questions. We're talking to Bert.
You don't need scuba equipment. I believe the story.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what I was talking about.
That's all right.
You were talking about swimming with great white sharks. Was
base jumping.
Our camera woman, when we went to do it, was like,
she was swimming out of the cage.
Yeah, but we were swimming with Galapagos sharks at the time, and she was like, I was telling her about my job. I just gotten Bert the Conqueror. I said, yeah, I got like a lot of shit on the docket, like crazy stuff. She said, let me tell you something. Don't ever base jump. And I was like, really? And she goes, I've done everything. Don't ever base jump, because if you base jump, that's how you'll die. And I went, I heard that, and I was like, I'll never go base jumping. So when we went to Utah, I think it was in Idaho is the only place you can legally base jump in the States. And over
How high is the bridge?
400 feet, I think. I think it's 400 feet. It might be more.
Right.
Why is it still be the parachute? Is the parachutes are unreliable? Is that why you're throwing them up in the air?
Yes, but they don't do it like that. They do static jumps. So that one guy will hold on to what technically is your cord or your, so he'll hold on to it. So the guy will jump, and as the guy jumps, that guy inflates his parachute for him. So he's holding on to it. So as he jumps, it rips out of his hand, and the guy's parachute opens. But there was a weight limit of like 160 pounds, and I was like 235, and I was like, I was like, I don't trust it. And they were like, I mean, legally, we can't do this shit. But they say that to you all the time. They'll always be like, we're not supposed to do this, but for the show, we'll do it. And I'm like, don't do it for the fucking show.
Exactly.
It's my life. I don't care to.
Right.
So that's the only thing I've said no to, really.
What was great about the great white sharks?
Well,
I mean, it sounds like it would be amazing, obviously, but
there were quiet sharks in the movie theater, I bet. Go ahead, Bert.
What blew you away when you were down there in the cage?
Well, 2 things were impressive about this. First of all, the cage is more like, it's like this wide and then this long. So we'd all be standing shoulder to shoulder to shoulder in the cage.
Small cage.
And the visibility wasn't perfect. So what was happening was the guys would lure the sharks in with like a big tuna head, and then they go down when the shark was near you, and you'd hop down in the water, and you didn't have tank on, like Chip was saying. You didn't have a tank on.
That's right.
And you'd see it, but it would show up at the last minute, much like a shark attack. Yep. It would just go, and you'd get to witness a great white shark literally attacking you at the last, just like a shark attack. It was fucking terrifying. So then I decide, it was freaking me out, so I decided I want to get on top of the cage and watch the shark. It's in the edit. You can see it in the edit. And I want to watch where the shark's body is, because you could see it from top. And then I figured when we get close, I'd hop down. Well, it's fucking coming at me. I'm like, okay, timing it right. All of a sudden, the shark leaps out of the water at me, and I'm like, motherfucker! Drop into the cage, and I'm like literally thinking I'm gonna die. And then as I get in the water, the shark's right up on the cage. It was one of the fucking craziest experiences.
Wow, can you see
the cage?
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet?
No, it's not out yet.
Okay.
This is swimming with sharks in Hawaii. I took my daughters. By the way, if you go to Hawaii, if you go to Honolulu, go out to Haleiwa Harbor and go swimming with North Shore Shark Adventures, or there's a lot of shark guys. They take you out. You swim with maybe 30 Galapagos sharks. It is spiritual. I honestly say that. It is one of the coolest fucking things. I took my daughters out, 5 and 9 or 6 and whatever, 2 years apart. 8 and 10. There was like last year, I took my daughters out. My daughters are like still young enough. They're holding their nose, going underwater. And you can find that video on YouTube.
They look older.
Those are our travelers for trip flip. But you can see it on. Oh, this is me and my daughters. And so this is all the sharks.
Whoa.
And then, and these are my daughters in a cage.
But aren't their feet going to get bitten?
No.
Why?
Because their feet don't get out of the cage. Like Isla, you can see Isla's holding her nose still. And the sharks are like, it's one of the coolest things.
That looks awesome to do.
Dude, if you go to Hawaii, you have to do it.
That looks really cool.
Would they bite you, these sharks, or are these not the nasty ones?
I mean, theoretically, I guess they bite you. They made the analogy, they're like dogs. Technically, they're not going to do anything, but it could. I made the analogy. Yeah, I made the analogy. It's like Middle Easterns in the airport. They may blow a plane up, but probably not.
You don't. Yeah, it's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
So wait, would a guy who's an experienced like great white swimmer with the mesh suits, would one of those guys just swim out in the open water with them?
Yeah, and those suits are extremely difficult to operate because you are you have to be like, I'm a open water diver, but as soon as you put that on, you are extremely weighted, so you've got to be really good with your buoyancy. So if there's any problems with your tank, I heard a horror story about a guy in the mesh thing goes in and his BC is not connected to his tank, so he drops in and all of a sudden starts sinking like a rock, and there's no air going into his system, so he can't breathe, and he's just sinking like a stone. So
what happened to him?
He dropped tank and had to kick up. We went down like fucking 40 feet because you're heavy as shit. Because I wanted to wear one of those things the last time we went diving, and they're like, no, you have no competency in that suit.
That's a real heavy suit.
Yeah, yeah.
Will it actually stop a shark from biting?
Yeah, 100%.
That's a good video.
Chip, you didn't use a cage when you went swimming?
Cages are for pussies. I was fucking right in there. I rode 2 sharks.
You rode them?
On their backs.
Animals are fascinating, dude. We went to a safari with lions, and we were like 10 feet from a lion. Open air thing in Tanzania, and you're looking at it just like a house cat. You know how cats will look at you and all of a sudden they'll like kind of give you a weird look. You're like, oh fuck, this one's about to run.
Yeah, exactly.
The animals are always sketchy.
There's so many fucking sharks in the water.
I know, right?
It's terrifying.
It is filled with fucking sharks.
I had no idea there were that many sharks just right under boats.
Oh yeah,
they're right there.
Oh.
Like the cage isn't underwater. Underwater.
Wait do you see the great white footage? There are literally at any time 4 great whites in the water, all 12 feet long. It is. I mean, I just sat out there. You can see the video on my Instagram of the shark of us in the shark cage with the shark, and it's fucking massive. I mean, these sharks are the size of arguably of like trucks.
But they attract the sharks for the purpose of you diving with them.
But in South Africa, to know that there are 4 great whites just off the coast at any time is like. You're never going to see that. I saw a great white. I was out of the cage with a great white right off Catalina for like Hurt Bert, my old show. I had to be a wildlife photographer for great white sharks out of the cage, and one showed up, and that thing moved with such fucking intention that literally you realized, oh, there's nothing I could have done to stop this. If it wanted to eat me, I could not halt that. And so I just fucking got out of the water. I was like, fuck this.
I'm done.
Yeah, they're making cheeseburgers.
Tap it out. Very good. So what show are you doing these days?
I got Trip Flip on Travel Channel.
Trip Flip, okay.
Yes, there in like June, and then we're doing Bert the Conqueror this summer. So I'm hitting a bunch of festivals and rides. And
actually, it says here, Bert Kreischer, on your one sheet that you're promoting Star Talk Mondays at 11 on Nat Geo. So
I'm really excited.
Cool. You going into that world as well? You're
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about the universe?
Yeah, do you guys have any questions? Opie And Anthony out 160.
Travis is stupid.
It says promoting Star Talk Mondays at 11 p.m. on Nat Geo.
That's cool.
Actually, you and Neil deGrasse Tyson should switch jobs. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Do that for a week.
Would you ever do like one of these adventure shows with Chip?
In a fucking heartbeat. If Chip wants to do anything this summer, I will fly him out first class, and I will do anything you want to do. We got rodeo poker is one of the things on the list. So they put a poker table in front of in like a rodeo thing, and they release the bull, and the last clown to come up gets the money on the table. We got a lot of stuff, Chip.
It's cool because Chip's probably done most of it already, so he probably comes in with a
If he
level
just
of
wants to come out and ride a roller coaster with me, I'd love Chip sitting next to me and ride a roller coaster.
He'd be very
I don't even
comfortable
let him
doing
buckle
this.
me in on a roller coaster. I hang on.
It'd be really great to watch Chip ride a roller coaster because the whole lead up would be talking about like how he doesn't give a fuck and blah blah blah, and just watching him be completely terrified on the shittiest roller coasters.
I would definitely fly Chip out. Would Chip ride a roller coaster?
Well, I'll tell you what happened to Jim when he was in Vegas with his ex. We went to New York, and they have a roller coaster simulator. And I was going to go on the roller coaster. I was feeling brave. I was going to go on the simulator. So I get in the simulator, and it's just the size of one roller coaster car, and she programmed in, and they buckle you in. And I'm like, that's interesting, and the music starts blaring, and you're in a pod. And there's an emergency thing you can hit if it's too much. 5 seconds in, we turn upside down, and I hit it. I stopped it. I'm not kidding. 5 seconds in. And the guy opened up the thing, and he goes, that must have been, did you hit that by mistake? And I'm like, nah, man, we turned, my arm hurts. And we got out, and she's like, that was fucking humiliating.
What couldn't you handle?
The whole upside down, the music was too loud. I was going to throw up. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up.
So before you
Can't
can
you
ride
just
a roller
close your
coaster,
eyes at that point?
No.
You can't.
You're physically upside down.
Before you can ride a roller coaster, you got to master Star Tours at Disney World or something.
Yeah, like I'd go on Confrontation at Universal Studios. They still have that?
Confrontation.
Yeah, it was with the King Kong ride.
Oh yeah, I don't think they have that anymore.
Confrontation, no.
Yeah, it wasn't a good ride.
No, it wasn't.
It kind of breaks through the building a little bit.
Yeah, and you're like,
yeah, you're on like one of those like
fake
sky
trains.
trolleys.
But do you think if you went, because I know sometimes when I have panic attacks, if I look at the camera and I focus on the camera, it helps calm me. Like a lot of times scuba diving, I'll get panic attacks. But if I go to the camera and kind of play to the camera, I start calming down.
There's a magic in knowing you're performing.
Do you think that Chip would be able to handle a roller coaster? Straight Chip.
Yeah.
In character.
In character?
Yeah.
Come on, please let me fly Chip out. Please let me fly Chip out.
Easy.
You think you could stay in character the whole time?
Piece of fucking cake.
What's character? Chip is just 100% Chip all
I'm
the
fucking
time.
real and realer.
Real and realer.
You gotta do that.
Oh, please, Chip.
Fuck yeah.
I miss diving.
I'm in.
Do you like scuba diving?
Yep.
I've done it I've probably done about 20 dives. But not recent, unfortunately. It's been a good 3 or 4 years now.
I'm diving in a week.
Fucking love diving.
Where you diving?
North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And you realize...
Where have you dived?
Everywhere.
Wow. You realize you're not scared when you're diving, are you?
I am.
You realize everything down there is scared of you.
No.
What scares me is when you look out into basically the abyss, the darkness, and you're like, what the fuck is right out there? Taking a look at me that could pop out at any given moment. But if you're in an area where you can pretty much see your surroundings, it's so peaceful, and I love it.
My first dive was 90 feet in Hawaii, in Fiji, to a wreck.
Right.
And 90 feet, stand at the bottom of a 9-foot building and think that's all the water covering you.
Right.
Oh my God.
Fucking, I started sinking and I had an instant panic attack. And I almost celebrated this panic attack because in the moment, I realized all the shit I wanted out of life and all the shit I didn't want.
Right.
And I was like, all the shit I don't want is down there.
Right.
Like all the shit I want is up top. And I just kicked back up the top. I was like, I can't do this. And the lady, I was telling her on this. The lady came over to me, my guide instructor. I got someone with me, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Okay, we're going down." And I was like, "No, give me a." And she just grabbed my BC, hit my deflate, held on to me, and just took me down to the bottom. And I was like, "I'm fucking dying. This bitch is killing me."
How many feet down were you?
90 feet.
Oh, 90. I'm
You
sorry.
can only be down there for like 10 minutes.
But that's a lot for your first dive. They usually don't take you 90 feet.
It's TV.
It's pretty much...
That's how TV...
it's for TV.
Well, because, TV, they're like...
Because us schmucks, it's like 40, 50 feet tops first dive.
Dude, my training dive was at 50 fucking feet because we were going 90. So they took me to my training dive where you drop all your fucking gear and try to fix it.
Right.
And my dive buddy partner, Callie, we were supposed to, the last thing you do is you switch BCs. You go, I'm out of air, and then you grab the person's...
his spare.
Yeah, his spare, and you take it.
The same one that's in his mouth?
No, just... You get a spare one.
You don't take it out of their mouth.
you got a spare one on the side.
I need your air.
In case you need it.
It's you or me, dude.
Yeah, where's all the air?
I'll bring your body up top.
Yeah, give me some air.
And we're 50 feet down, and Callie does the thing, and she forgets to blow out or clear her BC or clear a regulator,
right,
and sucks in water and starts choking.
Wow.
And I'm that drill. You're face to face, an inch from them, and I watch her eyes start dying. I see her start choking, breathing, and I just am like, what the fuck do I do? And
Come in her mouth. It's a blowjob joke.
Yeah, well.
But our trainer just grabbed her, and like it was a fucking gonzo porn, and just held the regulator in her mouth, and just held her there. Just held her face in the regulator, and you just end up coughing out the water and then breathing, but you're 50 feet down.
Well, they also teach you, if you're going to puke, you got to puke right through your regulator.
Right through your regulator.
Isn't that fucked up?
Into it?
Yeah, because a lot of people kind of get seasick or whatever with the motion. They're like, look, if you're going to throw up, make sure you fucking keep that regulator in your mouth and just puke right through it.
But how will you'll be breathing the puke back in?
It'll probably blast out mostly.
Yeah.
You'll probably get a little taste of puke in your mouth, certainly.
It's not going to be cool, I'm sure.
Never happened to me, thank God.
It never happened.
I never puked. But I did get down to the wreck, and I realized, like, in this weird fucking kind of, because obviously I'm a talking guy. I'm not a big listening guy, and so and I don't like being silent. I don't like that. But when you're scuba diving, it's just silence, just you and your brain,
right?
Just you and just all your thoughts. And I get down to the wreck, and I realize we're celebrating the worst day in some guy's life. Like, no one has a wreck. Like, hey guys, fuck it, let's swim in.
The first guy that was down on that wreck was the guy who died with the wreck.
Yes. And we're down there like fucking people at the 9/11 memorial, like,
checking it all out.
So it got like really panic in my brain the whole time. It's like, I could freak you out. I could freak you the fuck out.
How many feet was it?
90 feet.
90 feet down.
Yeah, we're doing a
dive. You
dive.
don't think any of those guys survived?
I don't know. It was in the middle of Fiji, in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, it was middle of the ocean.
Yeah,
they took you all the way out. Okay.
Yeah, we're going diving.
You ever do Cayman Islands?
No, I've only done.
The dive boats are right offshore. It makes it really convenient and nice.
I love that.
A lot of my dives were Turks and Caicos, where they do take you out for a while, a long way. You can't see land anymore. Probably, I forget now. Probably 90-minute fucking boat ride just to get out to the dive sites.
Yeah,
that was a little freaky.
We're doing a 50-foot dive, which is cool. I can deal with 50 feet because you got to remember 50 feet's the total bottom, but it's a wreck off of North Carolina, out by the frying pan, and so the top of the wreck is going to be at like 30 feet, so you can fuck around at 30 feet for a while and gradually get your way down there. It's just a 90-foot descent is just a
when
beast.
You're floating just, I don't know, like 5 feet off the bottom, and you can control your breathing where you make your body just kind of go. It's the best fucking feeling, man.
It is. There is a
it's
real.
so relaxing.
There is a real
you can calm
serenity
your
to
brain
it.
and your breath down. And people go through their air way too fast because they're panicking.
We're coming up for the 90-foot dive, and we're down there doing like Travelocity spots, and we're at 90 feet doing a Travelocity spot.
And you got to stop on the way up, obviously.
You ascend at 10 feet per minute. Think about how slowly that walk is.
Right.
It is slow as shit. So there's not like just skyrocketing up, and then we get to 50 feet, or we get to 30 feet, where you have, or 15 feet, where you have to hang out for 5 minutes.
Right.
And we look, and there's a fucking tank upside down. We're all out of air, the whole fucking crew. So we're passing back and forth at 15 feet for 5 minutes, just like switching out octopus. It's no joke. I'm nervous about my
And that's
dive.
what sucks. It's like, but it's only 15 feet up. But if I go now, I could be in some deep trouble.
Yeah.
I swam to the Titanic. That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
You just swam?
Yeah, we was deep sea diving.
Who?
Me and the crew.
You and the crew.
A bunch of the camera guys.
For what?
Chippa's Ocean Show.
Where was that aired?
It'll be on soon.
And you swam to the Titanic?
Yep.
What'd you find?
Boats.
How many boats?
How many? What, like a plural?
Titanic was one boat.
Well, you know.
No, I don't.
Fuck yeah.
How'd you get back up?
Just fucking swam up.
Just like that.
Right up.
You held your breath to the Titanic?
No, I had a machine on.
Oh. What kind of machine?
I'm done talking about this.
With that, we're going to take a break. Bert Kreischer, killing it with the stories. My God. What are we promoting? Because I don't have the proper plug for you.
Oh, nothing.
Well, you could...
Space Talk.
Space Talk. It's on Monday nights.
Star Talk,
on
Mondays at
Travel
11
Channel.
p.m. on Nat Geo.
Or Nat Geo.
You probably have you on, right?
Oh, no. I'm too stupid to talk to him about anything.
Yeah, but that would be kind of fun.
Oh.
Right?
I'm obsessed with time travel. We never got to it. I was hoping he'd be like, no, that's coming up. I mean, that's going to be shortly. Well, that'll be possible.
Yeah. In our lifetime.
Right around the corner.
I think they've got a line on it. Apple does.
Oh, okay. That's what the watch, I think, version 2 is going to do.
They really have figured out time travel a little bit.
Who has?
People. They've figured it out, parts of it.
Like what parts?
They can move things.
Move? No, they can't.
I feel like Chip right now.
Just making shit up.
Have you seen the video of the guy with the cell phone from back in 19...
oh, yes!
That freaks me out.
In the background?
I don't believe in much.
Dude, it's
that
like-
one freaks me out a little bit. I don't believe in it in the end, but what the fuck is he holding up to his ear?
I believe in time travel.
He's going to a premiere back in the day.
There's definitely there was no
Old lady
cell
holding-
towers.
No, I know.
The phone wouldn't work.
I know. We did all this.
Not a cell phone.
We did all this. I get it, but
Agree
old
to
lady-
disagree.
If you haven't,
No.
if you've never seen it, I think it's a Charlie Chaplin movie premiere, and a lady's walking, into the premiere, and she's holding something up to her ear that looks like it could. It's the same thing, emotion that you would have having a phone up to your ear. It's a little freaky. I don't believe in it. I'm just saying. What is it called online for the people?
If you just Google image time travel cell phone, you'll find
It's
it.
fucking weird.
Totally different subject. Have you seen Chris Fairbanks' video of him getting put into the movie Cocktail?
Yep.
Is that not fucking hilarious?
It's all right.
Chip got you again. He didn't see
got me.
He didn't see it. Where is this?
Chris
What do you mean?
Fairbanks.
Okay. I don't think I've
Cocktail.
ever seen this before.
It is so goddamn funny.
What's the backstory here?
He just figured out how to Forrest Gump himself into the movie. So he's in the fucking movie Cocktails, and he just jumps in. It's so fucking. He's a comedian from L.A.
Right. Okay. Where's he in this?
Right
scene?
there.
right behind him.
Is that not great? It's the best.
Really well done.
It's a horror.
That's fake.
It doesn't help that we're doing this on radio, but put this on our Facebook page. That's fucking funny, man.
So goddamn funny.
It's well done too. My
It's
God.
really good.
No
Took him a
one
really
cheers
long
bartenders like that.
They do a cocktail.
Yeah, they
No one
did.
cheers bartenders.
They were big deals in that movie.
Yeah, my favorite part was his trip to the bottom of his own houseboat.
People cheer bartenders like that at the airport when the bar opens.
Yeah. It's called Cocktails and Dreams on
It is
YouTube.
so
that is
fucking funny.
And it's an 11-minute video, so you just
he becomes
Can you fast forward slightly, Sam,
weaves himself
just to
into the
see?
story.
Okay.
Oh wait, go back.
All right.
And keep going.
We're doing this
Yeah,
just for
right here,
ourselves.
right here.
I'll acknowledge this, but
Right here.
Okay.
Is
So
he really that good of a friend to you, though? I think you and I, if you were open to it.
He's talking it.
You know, we could be more than friends. And always getting up. But if you were open to it at all, Thomas. Oh, hey!
Down the stairs. What? I gotta tweet this fucking thing.
Guys, I might need some help.
What's his name?
Guys,
Chris Fairbanks.
pretty face and a
Well, here he comes.
with the hanging down.
Oh, I hate this movie. Where they're singing.
Snapping at the bottom of the stairwell. And in the morning, he shows up.
Oh, good morning, assholes. Too busy to help me out of that stairwell. I had to call myself an ambulance. And then
It's so good.
It's great, right?
It's a visual. I'm sorry to the
Very,
people out
very
there.
funny.
It's called Cocktails and Dreams once again on YouTube. Fuck, that is funny. All right, we're going to take a break and continue with Bert Kreischer. Maybe we'll get into some of the shit that's going on out there in the world. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, my arm hurts. A little bit, just a teeny bit.
Just a little bit.
More with Opie and Jim. After this.
That's all right. This is it. The announcement that you've been waiting for is here. The new color for Mother's Day 2015 of Steven Singer's famous gold-dipped rose is pink champagne. That's right, pink champagne. Give her a rose that is perfect. Symbol of love and appreciation. Can you imagine the perfect gift for Mother's Day at the perfect price, starting at just $59? This real long-stem rose is lavishly and deeply dipped in 24-karat pure gold, and it's guaranteed to last forever. So why talk about Mother's Day now? Well, Steven Singer sells out of this gift every year, and he wants to make sure you get the first shot at ordering his brand new color, pink champagne. It's beautiful. Limited quantities are available. The ladies seem to really like these roses. Order yours today. Choose delivery closer to Mother's Day and guarantee you'll have the newest rose color for all of the moms in your life. Steven makes it so easy. Each rose comes shipped in a beautiful gold gift box with your very own personalized gift message. He even helps you out with that. Go online right now to check out the roses. IHateStevenSinger.com and reserve yours today. Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price. IHateStevenSinger.com.
Get a preview of the nation's top college football teams with more than 20 spring football games on Sirius XM. Touchdown! Hear live broadcasts as players compete for positions and teams get ready for the 2015 season. Saturday, catch spring games from Michigan State.
Connor Cook throws over the middle. Caught by R.J. Shelton all by himself. Touchdown, MSU.
Arkansas, Tennessee, Kansas State, Virginia Tech, and West Virginia. To find your team, go to SiriusXM.com/college football schedule.
FamousSmoke.com would like to apologize. Not long ago, our Twitter feed lit up because our radio commercials, well, suck. In hindsight, it's true, and we feel bad that we made you endure Vinny V.
This coupon thing is wowie zowie.
Suffered our shameless holiday pandering.
You're Sakarna leprechaun at FamousSmoke.com.
And are downright remorseful that we put it to music.
First you take your cigar.
Problem is, we're too busy slashing prices on the biggest selection of cigars from Acid, Cohiba, Romeo, Padron, and hundreds more brands to make good...
Hey, this is Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine with another Dr. Steve Medical Minute.
Hey, Dr. Steve, what can I do to add a few inches down there? Do any of those penis enlargement things they talk about really work?
Boy, wouldn't we all just love a giant hog? I mean to have one. I mean on your body, you know what I mean. Men have been unsatisfied with their penis length since time immemorial, but it's only been in the last 50 years that we developed technology to do something about it. But alas, it's all pretty much for naught. There is a contraption that is sold on multiple websites that has two Velcro rings, one for the base of your penis and one for under the Roman war helmet. Between these two rings is a series of turnbuckles that can be lengthened with a twist of the screw a little bit every day. By the way, this device is to be worn all day long. Supposedly, this will lengthen the penis over time. I found a single study that looked at this technique that showed a 1/4 inch improvement in length. Not worth the trouble. The same is true of vacuum devices. They're great for inducing an erection without drugs, but will do nothing to enlarge your penis. If you're overweight, remember Dr. Steve's rule. For every 35 pounds of weight loss, you regain 1 inch of penis length. There are surgical solutions, but they all have downsides. Gain an inch with severing the suspensory ligament, but your erection will thereafter point down to the floor. Gain some girth with Juvederm injection, but have a penis that looks like a wormy squash. Recently, the average penis length was re-examined and found to be only 5 inches, which saw half the country breathe a sigh of relief. If you're searching for solutions to a penis with which you're not satisfied, see a urologist. They have all the answers to all your dick questions.
Ian and Jim are back.
All right. We got Bert Kreischer in studio.
China banned it.
What happened?
China banned time travel, so it must be real.
They're trying to ban it.
No, China did.
China did.
Oh, that's right. China did ban it.
Yes, they did.
I remember that. It was in the news a week or two ago. I was talking to Bert Kreischer about allergies. Everyone seems to be suffering this time of year.
Yep.
And you got a fine theory on this whole allergy thing.
I do. By the way, this is a half-cocked theory that I'm not emotionally attached to, so I don't have to start an apology tour. But the reason guys like me and you have allergies is because we were put on formula, because that was in like the 60s and 70s. That was what every parent thought was like, it's science proven this is healthier for your child.
Than breastfeeding.
So
before that, everyone pretty much was breastfed. They had no choice.
Nope.
What do you mean?
It was a mortal sin in the Catholic Church to be breastfed. So what my grandmother would do is she'd drive into Spanish Harlem and get breast milk from a Puerto Rican woman. Swear to you.
What? Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't explain the rims on your car.
They would set up shop in Harlem?
You could get breast milk from like Puerto Rican women who would just lactate and put in things. And that's what my dad, because you couldn't, it was a mortal sin to have a baby on your breast and breastfeed it. So I'm saying 40s?
So if you went to hell because you said, fuck that, I want to nourish my child, what happens to those people after they change the rule up there?
I don't fucking know.
Or down there?
No, that's how my theory's not done. So then what was happening is, and then there was a big shift. and they started giving formula into like people that are on welfare. They started giving formula, and so they assumed, since all the white people had used it in the 70s and thought it was better, they started using it. And then what happened is people like me and you realized there's benefits to breastfeeding, and now we all breastfeed our kids, where it's not as acceptable. I think, I don't know, I don't know what it is, but in the inner city it wasn't big deal. They just get formula, and so they give the babies formula. So breastfeeding is the reason that we have allergies. It's because we weren't breastfed.
We didn't get the good stuff.
We didn't get any of the nutrients from my mom.
I was breastfed, and I have a little bit of allergies, not as bad as you though.
Wait, so
I have horrible allergies.
What age do you have to be where you don't have allergies because they went back to breastfeeding?
I think you have to breastfeed for like a solid...
No, but I mean, like, if you're a 30-year-old walking around right now, or a 25-year-old...
It just depends technically on if you were breastfed. The thing is, our generation, me and your generation...
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, because then everyone went back to breastfeeding. So there are kids out there, about 20 years old that have no allergies because they were breastfed properly.
My cousins were all breastfed. The Hobsons were all breastfed out of Philadelphia. So the Hobson boys are in their 30s. Like, I think probably 30. So I'd say 30 all the way down to like 20.
You also said black in there, though.
Well, yeah, that was
during the break. You're saying the black.
Thanks, Opie. Thanks, Opie.
Was it intentional that you didn't mention that?
He was doing a Jimmy the Greek to me, and he goes, and that's why blacks don't have allergies.
Yeah, the blacks were bred not to sneeze.
What about that part of the discussion that we had during the break?
I don't remember that part.
And that's why blacks don't have allergies. You go, white boys have allergies. This is what you basically said. White boys have allergies because I gotta do this. I'm sorry, I got it.
That's why you said, let's talk about that.
No, I love you, Bert. I'm not throwing you under the bus, but it was funny. You said white boys like me and you, around the same age, give or take a few.
Yeah.
We have allergies because we were on formula, but the blacks couldn't afford the formula. Black families couldn't afford the formula, and that's why
get who kid in here.
and that's why they continue to breastfeed, and and they don't have. So black people don't have allergies.
Bad theory. Yeah. I mean, but is there a correlation between poor people and not having allergies?
I think so. I mean,
based on what?
Well, I don't know. I just noticed. I don't know.
Dr. Steve calling Dr. Steve.
Yeah, that's
someone just call in and say I'm onto something here, or I do sound like Jimmy the Greek allergist.
So what you got here is your blacks.
My daughters have no allergies, and I am deathly allergic to cats and hamsters. And
what's that? What's the local honey bullshit angle that everyone's hitting me up on Twitter with?
Well, bees pollinate, so they figure that through the honey you pick up a little immunity.
All right, so I have to find the local fucking honey, and I eat that, and my allergies will go away. That's what
it helps. A little local flavor.
A little local.
What is that? Why they say you got like
it's a great name for a hooker too? The local honey. Everyone eats a cunt. Go ahead, guys.
Calling Dr. Steve. I guess honey's supposed to help you out. I don't know. Who knows?
The bees are disappearing. I have a lot of guys who are all stoners that followed Widespread Panic that are now beekeepers. They get a ton of fucking money.
Yeah, that's a good business.
Oh, you could just throw it in your backyard, just like Rogan's got chicken coops.
Right.
Throw in some fucking bees.
I saw Morgan Spurlock talking about the bees. It's
really
big business.
Does he have chicken coops? He makes his own eggs and chicken?
Oh, dude, it's impressive.
Yeah, Joe hunts stuff and eats it and cooks up his food,
Right.
Joe's like an outdoorsy guy.
Wears half the stuff after he's done.
He's got a show. I should probably, one thing I've learned in life is never speak on Joe's behalf, but I think he's got a show where he's going to take first-time hunters out for a kill. You guys would be awesome.
I have no desire to do that. Although, if I was going to do it, it would be with someone who eats with it. Like Ted Nugent, it can be irritating, but I think that he does eat and use what he kills.
I would go through the experience. I don't know if I would like it as much as those regular hunters out there, but
it's an emotional experience.
I like to educate myself a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's only responsible if you plan on eating the meat. You might as well be cool with the harvest. So what
do we got to eat?
I don't know. I like elk, dude.
I want to shoot a salmon because I'm on a fish thing lately.
You can do that with bow and arrow. We did that in bow and arrow in Wisconsin.
I just don't have the heart for it. Guys who hunt my food for me, I do appreciate what you do. I can't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's, all right, Dr. Steve, I don't know if you're listening. So we got Bert Kreischer in studio.
Birdie boy.
And he's got this theory on allergies. And let me just say it again. He says white guys around our age, like 40s and above, let's say, we weren't breastfed because the formula came out and people thought that was better. So we were on the formula, and that caused our allergies. And the blacks, they couldn't afford the formula.
Dr. Steve, I didn't say that.
So they said, well, it would be nice to get my kids on the formula as well to get the health benefits, but we can't afford it, so we're going to continue breastfeeding. And because that was done, blacks don't get allergies like white boys. Comment.
He says sucking titties that keep you from sneezing. Go on now.
Go on now.
That was the prevalent theory until...
See, there you go. I saved your ass.
What about AIDS?
What happened?
2008.
Oh,
2008.
I thought you said until everyone got AIDS.
No. That was the government.
AIDS from breastfeeding?
So, all right. So you should have corrected your knowledge sometime between 2008 and today. But.
Yeah, there was a study, a meta-analysis done in 2008.
Oh, was he nice?
What?
Oh, you said you meta-analysis.
You met somebody. You met somebody. That's just
But what it showed was that although there are many benefits to breastfeeding, including the fact that my kid is alive today because my wife breastfed, and I can tell you that story.
Well, you got it now. I hate when people do that. I'm not going to call you later. Yeah. I got you on the phone now. What do you mean your kid's alive because of breastfeeding?
Well, my kid was 5 days old,
right,
and he got a virus called respiratory syncytial virus. Had a fever of 105. And this is a virus that causes croup and other stuff in older kids, but in newborns it can be devastating. And when we brought him in, the nurses were like, we don't know if he's going to survive. And this kid absolutely sailed through, and most of the kids who do survive it, and most do, but they can get really sick, will have asthma and stuff like that afterward. Well, my wife was breastfeeding. She's the one who gave him the virus because she had it, and but she had antibodies to it, and that's one of the benefits of breastfeeding is that the mother can transmit antibodies to the kid. And so he just sailed through. He's totally fine. And so breastfeeding saved his life. If we had been bottle feeding, we may have had a completely different outcome. So there are real tangible benefits to breastfeeding. Avoiding allergies doesn't seem to be one of them. Now, the reason that they thought that this was true was because kids who got breastfed...
No, Bert doesn't have a large attention span. Can you,
yeah, okay.
You don't have to dumb it down, because I think Bert Kreischer is a smart guy.
Yes.
But he doesn't like to listen
he's brilliant. And
for more than 30 seconds at a time. Huh?
The story about jumping off the building in Vegas.
Funny.
Was amazing. I really love that. But the reason that they thought that breastfeeding was beneficial for allergies was because kids had less wheezing when they were breastfed compared to bottle-fed kids. But they think now that it may be because they were avoiding certain viruses because of the antibodies rather than actually preventing allergies.
So agree to disagree.
That's right. I mean, I've got the meta-analysis. I'll be more than happy to.
Oh my God! Don't send that to Bert Kreischer, please.
Hey, I know. I tweet Dr. Steve every time I have a drug cocktail I'm thinking about putting together. Like last one was Valium and Vicodin. And I was like, hey, what's the deal with Valium, Vicodin, and Xanax? And he didn't reply. I was like, guess I won't take the
take
Xanax.
as many as you got and then get in the tub, Whitney.
I'm sorry if I didn't.
It's working blue today.
That's okay. Thank you, Dr. Steve.
Is that it?
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
Did we get the answer?
Stupid call.
Yeah. He said it's pretty much that's the reason.
That's bullshit now, right?
Yeah, bullshit.
Breastfeeding's good, though.
Yeah, but titties are nice, right, DS?
Yeah, they are.
Just D for doctor.
Do you check it out when a mom's breastfeeding in public?
Fuck yeah, I pull my prick out.
I will absolutely do a couple circles. I'll circle back, no problem.
I've definitely given it a peek.
A little peek. All right, Steve.
Yeah,
it's not like a sexual thing enough to pull your prick out.
It is.
No, it is for. There's something kind of sexual about it.
Did you jerk off in public?
Well, I don't know if I jerk off in public, but it's a little...
Yeah, just rearrange a little bit.
All right.
Rearrange a little bit.
Steve.
Oh, that's great.
Weird Medicine
All right,
on this
boys.
channel. Dr. Steve.
Yes.
Thank
Goodbye,
you,
sir.
sir.
Eastern on
All right,
Saturday.
thank you, buddy.
All right.
I've listened to Weird Medicine a bunch.
He's great.
I got the app on my phone. If you don't have it, go get it. It's fucking awesome.
The Weird Medicine app?
No, I got the
new app.
Sirius XM app. I fucking love it. You can type in. It's so fucking convoluted. I'm saying this out loud, Sirius, that I can't find you in my car. You're either on 106 or 203, or sometimes it doesn't even show up.
Well, they got to match that shit up, but we gave up on that a long time ago.
On this, I can just type in Opie or Jim, and it just comes right up. I love
People
this app.
are definitely liking the new app more than hating it. You still got people that are fucking bitching
It
about
crashes
it.
a lot.
I don't.
And you can pull back. It's great. The other day, I don't know what you guys were talking about, but it was the Florentine interview. I was talking to you about it, and I heard I'm getting on the interstate, and I just heard like a part of it, and I went, oh shit! And I can just scroll back to right at the very beginning of the interview and listen to all of it. I love it. I love it.
All right, well, get the new app.
Yeah, it's better to be able to do that. You can do that like on Fios now. I don't know about cable, but they'll say hit this button if you want to just buy it on demand if you tune in late. So it's, it's really cool what they're doing with TV.
Not Time Warner.
No.
Fuck.
I thought you were going to cancel that.
I got other things to worry about, like a few more 1,000 sneezes. And then I'll deal with Time Warner.
You can cancel cable with allergies.
I know I can't.
You are not a multitasker.
No, I can't. This has been
track.
debilitating.
This has fucked up your week.
Yes, it has fucked up my week.
Allergies suck, man. When you wake up and your
Absolutely
eyes are
fucked
itching.
up my week.
Oh,
Yep, got to scratch those motherfuckers.
I don't
not relating.
I don't have to scratch your eyes this time, thank God.
Oh,
you will rip your own eyeballs out until you get the good stuff. There's nothing in CVS that you got to
get the medicated ones, the tiny ones, Alicorn
the tiny
or something.
one where you could easily misplace it. What did they give you? They give you like 10 drops, I think, in that fucking thing. How expensive is that shit? Why
like
can't they give us a nice
$15?
healthy amount?
I'm definitely allergic to gerbils or hamsters. My wife one time was playing with one at my daughter's school, got in the car, washed her hands, got in the car, held onto the steering wheel. I got in the car, touched the steering wheel, and you know the inner membrane of your eye? It swole up over my eyes. And I'm driving. I literally, I'm not even lying, tears were coming out of my eyes because they were watering, and they were burning down my face. Burning lines down my face.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
CNN had some salty language. Did you see this clip yet?
I did not.
Yeah, you had some badasses that decided they needed to say a few things while CNN was reporting on the Freddie Gray thing.
Oh, good.
The Freddie Gray death protest. What happened there, you think?
But with the broken back, that guy is
Broken back, a severed spine around his neck, I think.
What happened?
They probably slammed him down really hard. I mean, what else could you do to break someone's...
Well, something must have happened because he had broken legs when they were putting him into the...
Wait, what was he doing? I don't even know this story.
I don't know anything about this story.
That's why this story's so weird because everybody's saying he was doing nothing.
Can we goggle it?
I didn't even think of that.
They're saying he was doing nothing. I don't know.
So the cops thought he was someone else, so they were just fucking with him?
He has a record for some minor stuff.
That's super.
But
I thought that was part of the story.
Cuts. We pay attention to every detail.
Dead from a severed,
so you'll feel sharp, clean, and ready to go.
How the fuck did that happen?
Are you playing a Supercuts ad?
And the moment you're not feeling ready, pop right back in, and we'll get you ready
I thought
to
this
go.
was about vaginas with capes.
Mediate.
Misheard it.
Like the Mediate. Do a good job.
Yeah, Mediate.
One place to get all the clips.
Now we could
Miguel Marquez
put the audio on.
Yeah. Whatever.
begins our coverage this hour in Baltimore. He's with the protesters tonight. Miguel, what are you seeing right now?
Very much with the protesters. These young men are incredibly angry about everything happening.
Motherfuckers ain't taking
Really?
Fuck him. Fuck you. Fuck him. Straight up. Fuck CNN. We here. Straight up. Straight up.
As you can see, there's a lot of emotion running through the streets here.
Wow.
Why is he walking in the middle of the protesters?
This is a different clip than the one I saw because they did it a second time. Second time to this poor gentleman as he's just trying to report from the situation. CNN, they dig in, though. They get right in there with the protesters.
They really do.
During the Ferguson thing, I couldn't have done that.
No.
I couldn't have been, I'll tell you what, fuck that. I couldn't be a cameraman doing that, where you're just blind the entire time to everything in your peripheral.
Right.
That'd be fucking
And you
terrifying.
just assume they're not going to do anything to you.
What's the story here? What happened?
His leg.
What we know is that while in police custody for committing no crime for which they had no justification for making the arrest except he was a black man running, I'm quoting, obviously, this is not, his spine was virtually severed, 80% severed in the neck area, said Bill Murphy, attorney for Gray's family.
Is it possible to do that with a chokehold with a nightstick?
Well, when they were
That's
dragging
brutal.
him, there's video of him getting dragged into the van.
Right.
And it looked like his legs were already broken.
Well, that could have just... Are his legs broken?
Is that the video?
Yeah, it looked like his legs.
No,
I mean,
but that could just be because they were being dragged because his spine was broken.
Yeah.
Were
If
the
you break your
legs
spine,
confirmed broken?
Nothing. No.
So it's the spine. They probably a chokehold, a brutal chokehold, where they threw him down and broke his fucking neck off a curb or something.
Dude,
horrible.
You got to throw. I mean, I fell 15 fucking feet on my back. You got to really fuck someone up to break their spine.
Yeah, I don't think you can sever a spine with.
You cannot.
I don't know. I'm just guessing how that would happen when they arrest you.
I mean, there would be severed spines all the time in MMA.
But aren't they also talking that maybe something happened in the police van after they arrested him and they took off?
They're just saying they don't know what happened in the police van.
Maybe can you slam someone's head really hard against the fucking wall and do it?
They even showed the route that the police van took to see, maybe they took this corner a little too hard and he was handcuffed.
Yeah, there's no way that happens.
So, I mean, people want answers in Baltimore. And they're like, hey, man, we're investigating and
they better have answers.
We'll let you know soon. Did the other clip pop up of the guys going live and saying motherfucker a lot? Or is that the only one they got today?
I mean, that's the one.
Yeah, okay. It happened again, I think, yesterday, but whatever.
I always side with. I've always been on the side of the cops because I can't imagine having their job. But it does seem like a lot of people are dying these days.
Well,
like that one where the guy just shot the guy in the back in the park. Did you see that?
Yeah, when he was running.
I mean, the guy wasn't even running fast.
No. Or the other one.
He was lumbering.
He was literally meandering away from the guy.
He was pretty much lumbering or meandering away.
Did you see the interview with the guy who wasn't even a real cop, who shot
the old man?
Yeah, the old man who shot the dude because he thought it was his taser.
No, you know, what did the interview say?
He was interviewing him on the Today Show, and Matt Lauer was like, could you stand up for a second? And the guy was like, yeah, sure. He's like, this old guy. And he was like, could you just show me on your body where's your taser and then where's your gun? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he pointed, his taser is in his vest pocket, like his left breast pocket on his vest. And his gun is on his right hip. Couldn't have been further away. And somehow he still grabbed the gun thinking it was a taser on the total opposite side of his body and shot this dude. Now, I don't think he legit grabbed his gun on purpose.
No, because he wouldn't have yelled taser and then immediately said, I'm sorry.
He goes, I'm sorry.
That goes to speak to his incompetence.
Unless he really wanted to kill a guy and was setting it up. But
no, that's not.
And what was a 73-year-old insurance guy?
Was he a big donator or something?
Yeah,
and you could kind of play cop for the day.
And he said his job, he would go out with the cops, and his job was to take notes and clean up. Like, he would just kind of follow the cops around, and they would do their job. But he was like, oh, everybody's running out. Like, oh, I got a taser.
Right.
And then he was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Baltimore police, their official documents, said the man who died after his spine was nearly severed was arrested without force or incident. Now, of course they're going to say that, but what do they think happened?
Well, Ron knows. He's from Baltimore. He knows everything. Go ahead, Ron.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I know everything. Yeah. Well, what they're saying on the inside, in Baltimore, we got like super high crime zones, so they run a lot of cops in there through hot times, if you will. And if they see somebody that matches the matches the description of somebody they've been looking for, they'll go after him. And this guy took off running, and then they tackled him and caught him, and he was like resisting arrest. So they put him in that old like legs behind his back, the arms behind the back, kind of folded him backwards, and they put him in the paddy wagon. By the time he got to the precinct, they took him out. His neck's half broke. So basically, they gave him the first-class ride to the precinct when they threw him in the back. He was probably getting a little bumped around and cracked his head on the metal seat or something. And that's pretty much what they're saying on the inside, what's going on.
Didn't it look like his were fucked up, like Sam said? This video of him being brought into the car, it looks like he's totally fucked up there.
Yeah, he's already pretty hurt.
Yeah, and
getting him into the police van.
They're saying the pictures show that he was not roughed up. He was chased.
He's being dragged, dude. His feet are being dragged.
And they're in directions that feet don't go in.
Yeah, his feet, I don't know if his legs are broken, but maybe that's what happens when your feet are being dragged like body weight.
I talked to two cops in San Francisco this past week. They were on my show, and we were talking about the whole thing. And they said, "Well, part of the deal," and they were saying this like very commonplace. People in the hood know if you run from us, we get to beat your ass when we get you. Like that's part of the gig. And he's like, and now everyone wants to like snitch on it and tell, but that was part of the gig. If you run from us, when we catch you, you're going to get a little of an ass whipping. And he's like, that was understood in the hood. That's how that worked. But it seems like
it's like once people start dying from the ass whipping.
Yeah, this isn't about like, hey, the cop punched me in the head or did the old phone book. This is a guy's spine got broken.
Fucking.
Hey guys, I was going to say real quick, ask Kenny about the first class rides at a precinct once you've resisted arrest, and ask him, and because that's kind of what they're saying here is that he kind of rolled around in the back of that paddy wagon.
That's when they bump you around on purpose, right?
Oh yeah. He gets some special treatment, and I think that's what happened. And I think this guy,
But going to the car, dude, when you look at their drag, he's not walking into the van. He's not walking into the van. His legs are being dragged. It's like they're dragging a cadaver.
Is it possible that he decided he wasn't going to fucking walk?
Oh, maybe, but I mean, they're saying he was arrested without violence or incident.
It does not look like his feet aren't just
that doesn't
steady.
look like
either that or really, really sleepy.
Like bent backward. Yeah.
That doesn't look like a guy who's just being a dick.
You know, no one should die in those circumstances. I just don't understand why you would resist arrest.
Yeah. Well, I was just. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't understand that part, but then again, I'm not in these neighborhoods, and I don't understand the relationship between the cops and the people. But
yeah,
I don't know why you would resist. You're not going to get away in the end, for the most part.
I've had bad run-ins with bad cops, and it's always like if I have to go to jail for absolutely nothing, I totally get it. Yes, sir. No, sir. Like, but my dad was a lawyer, so I come from a very different background, so can't imagine.
I mean, you're seething inside, but you're like,
oh yeah.
I always just knew they have the upper hand. I didn't get any real trouble over the years, but I'm just saying. Yeah. You just grew up knowing they had the upper hand.
I had one problem. I did have a problem. Me and my friend were coming. We were coming from the pull up by I think he was a lieutenant. We were on our way to the Kit Kat Club, and he makes me spit my gum out and show him how I suck a cock, and he jerked off on the side of my car. So inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
You had your acting face on literally from the moment you started that story.
Well, you know me better. I was afraid I was going to laugh.
I didn't know that.
Kit Kat Club, huh?
I was like, really?
We're going to take one more call. Ray in Texas. Ray, I don't know how you know about Baltimore, but go ahead. The other guy was inside. We heard the accent and everything. We knew Baltimore. We knew he was from Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was actually in the service with a Baltimore Police Department guy, and I actually usually am on the other side of this. For instance, I got into a screaming argument with Kenny over the choke in Staten Island.
Right, I remember.
Yeah, but in this instance, I was actually talking to my buddy. He's a pretty straight guy, and what he said about it is there's some information that hasn't really been coming out yet. He said that there's actually somebody else. They had somebody else in that paddy wagon. So there's going to be an account that comes out from another perp, basically, that they had in the back of that paddy wagon.
Okay.
There is video, by the way, of the initial confrontation with this guy that doesn't show them roughing him up in any way. It's actually been on CNN and all that stuff. I mean, it looks like a pretty, standard. They don't beat his ass or anything like that. I understand he's getting drugged. I've seen that video. It looks like he's going limp, but at the same time, if the guy's just resisting, he doesn't want to go, he could do that. But basically, what my buddy in Baltimore is saying is looking like the guy just fucked himself up. They put him in the back of the car. He was jumping around like an idiot, hurt himself, and then later they stopped it. They actually, there's video of this too. They stopped the paddy wagon to shackle his legs to stop him from fucking jumping around back.
Well, is there video of that?
Yeah, there's video of the stop where they actually have him getting his legs shackled. At that point, he looks like he's hanging half in and out of the truck, so he may have fucked himself up already at that point. And like I said, I wasn't there, but this is what I'm hearing from a guy on the force.
Oh, so what you're saying is
he was jumping up and down in the back,
trying to get beat up so that he could have a case against him, like beating himself up.
Probably so, because the thing is, the guy, other than the neck stuff, they haven't found any other injuries on him. He doesn't have a bunch of contusions to the face. He doesn't have a bunch of fucked up stuff otherwise, except for the neck thing. And you know what I mean, like that.
Are there any cops in the back of those vans when they're transporting somebody?
I have no idea. I mean, that's one of the, from what I understood there was they had another Bert back there. I don't think usually there is. From the few instances I've seen where people have been arrested and put into those things, I haven't seen a police officer travel in the back with them.
Okay.
But I'm sure that they probably would do something else. But also, before I go, I just want to say a big up to the machine and Jimmy Bram Muffin.
Very good. All right, Ray. Thank you.
No problem, guys.
This video is fucking horrendous.
You're looking at the video as he was
It's an
talking?
arrest video.
Right.
Can you? There's no way to make it bigger. What's happening?
This is when they stopped because he had fucked himself up, or that allegedly. That's what he was saying.
Oh, this is the video.
This is the mid stop.
Okay.
Who's filming this?
It's not a professional.
Yeah, but there's a line between not a professional and I'm shaking it up to the all off the plate. You just hold it there. Look. Left, right. Fucking hold it.
He's trying to see if someone's watching him. That's what he's doing.
It looks like CNN zoomed in to try to see the action better, and if it was shaking just a little bit, and now you're zooming in on their end, it would make it very shaky. That's what it kind of looks like.
Terrible video.
It does make sense. I mean, I don't believe it, but it is within the realm of human possibility that a guy would get arrested and decide to fucking fling his body around the back so he looks beat up, so when he gets in there, he could sue them, but I don't know if someone would break their spine.
deGrasse Tyson, come back in.
Where's he going?
No? Fuck. Could do a few more minutes with him.
Is he doing Shady 45?
Probably doing other shows around here.
I'm doing Shade 45 later.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Way.
Very nice.
When is that?
11 a.m.
Today.
11:30 a.m.
Very good. And you're doing Imus tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You got the big special tomorrow night, Jimmy.
Oh.
Epics, 10 o'clock.
Hope it's a big hit.
Ooh, I talk about it
special.
I talk about it on my podcast that just went up. The video went on YouTube. I posted it this morning. It's in the intro.
You had Jimmy?
I had Jim on my podcast. It was fantastic.
How do they find that?
Go to YouTube.
You just go to Bert.
Type in Bert Cast Jim Norton.
Bert Cast Jim Norton. There you go.
And it was good talking to Jim. I'm telling you, I got to be honest with you. Your interview with Rogan, now that I get to see Chip Up live in person, it is so much fucking more enjoyable. It's so much. That's me shirtless.
Why
and there's Jim up at the top left.
Why do you have to be shirtless?
Maybe
I have tactile issues, Hope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't believe we've gotten this far into the radio appearance with you with a shirt on. I feel like we haven't been doing that.
It's just uncomfortable to have a shirt on?
I don't like having shirts on.
For real?
I'm being dead serious. I've been doing my set entirely shirtless lately.
What are you feeling right now with the shirt on?
Now that we brought it up, it's driving me nuts because it's touching my nipples.
And you've always had this problem?
I've always had this problem. My daughter has this problem too.
So she's shirtless?
Oh, pantyless. She hasn't rocked panties in her entire life.
How are you going to handle that as she gets older?
Oh, I'll probably be dead.
Jesus. There's something that happened locally that's right up your alley.
What's this?
The guy that was trying to swim the
Gowanus.
The Gowanus Canal. He thought he could do this thing, and he said, fuck that. And he...
How far is it?
I don't know how far he wanted to go, but he didn't make it too far. I mean, it's legendary how fucking polluted this place is, this canal. And he's a clean water activist who he planned to swim nearly 2 miles, of the poop and tar-tainted Gowanus Canal on Wednesday and was forced to stop early, citing health concerns.
Do you know when I did the episode of, the Jason Schwartzman show?
Bored to death?
Yeah, Bored to Death. The episode title was The Gowanus Has Gonorrhea. Because
No kidding.
Yeah, they were hanging me over the thing that was supposed to be over the Gowanus Canal because it was so fucking filthy.
So it's legendary. The water is bad. It stinks. I couldn't see very far. I couldn't see my arms. There's a lot of poop in there. Oh, God, said Christopher Swain, who took the nasty dip in honor of Earth Day. Clad in flippers and a bright yellow wetsuit with his face exposed, Swain took the putrid plunge into America's most polluted waterway. Is it America's most polluted waterway?
Oh, wow.
But the toxic Avenger stopped short of his goal of 1.8 miles, hopping out after just half a mile because low tide and an approaching storm forced him to brush against the gooey, putrid bottom of the canal. Oh, my God. I'll swim the whole thing, but today's not the safest day to do it. It's getting late in the day. The best thing to do is shut down for the day. Afterwards, he described the way it tasted, like mud, poop, ground up grass, detergent, and gasoline. He got a little in his mouth, and that's what he was dealing with.
No, I'll be honest with you. He just couldn't swim 2 miles in a fucking dry suit. It's very difficult.
You think that's what it came down to?
Yeah. Have you ever tried to swim 2 miles?
Yep.
It's next...
2 miles. Just
Where? Just I'm in the Atlantic.
2 miles in the Atlantic.
Yep.
You fucking moron.
I ain't got no more.
One guy is on the line. Cops are totally out to beat up on people. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I don't. I think the majority of the cops do the right thing.
I agree.
Are there bad cops? Yes. There's bad everybody's. No matter what profession, you got some bad ones. Let's go to Hunter. Hunter, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to comment on what the last guy was talking about. My dad's been a cop since the early 70s, and when he talks about guys like that who just take it a little too far, they're doing it because they want to. They know they're about to kick somebody's ass. They know that they're disenfranchised. They don't have enough money to pay for a lawyer and sue them. That guy's not going to jump around in a car and beat his own ass and, I'm going to get a lawyer and sue this police department. No fucking way.
Is it possible he was back there just jumping around because he was fucking pissed off they arrested him, possibly for nothing, and then maybe the van is taking a turn as he's jumping around and acting out, and then cause his own injury? I'm just saying, I don't know. I was not there.
And there's a lot of things we don't know.
Right.
Right, and I could see that, and I just don't see how he's just gonna like you said destroy his spine, to the point where I just don't get that.
A lot of videos coming out, though, man. Fuck.
Let me tell you something. You never know what you're going to do under duress. When I was in 10th grade, I got punched by this guy, Jeff Underdog, I think was his last name.
Jeff Underdog.
Yeah, he's a fucking jerk. I didn't know how big he was. I flicked him off. He's in a convertible IROC, and he was fucking huge.
Right.
Ripped me out of my car, punched me, punched my buddy Sal, and then my buddy Alan took off in my car, and they left us there. And, I've never actually admitted this, but, me and Sal were all fucking freaked out, and then Jeff took off with the guy in his car, and I didn't feel like my shiner was worthy enough to warrant a good story, so I kind of punched myself in the eye a couple times, so that when I showed up at the party and they heard the story, they saw the shiner to be like, what the fuck happened? Right. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that this guy's as crazy as I am, but I was definitely pretty fucked up.
You were bummed that the shiner just wasn't good enough.
No, dude, when I fell off the waterfall, I gotta be honest with you, I was very happy to know I didn't break my back, but I was very upset when the guy goes, you're really lucky, and then I had no way to explain to anyone why I was hurt. They're like, what happened? You fell. And I'm like, did you break your back? No. Right. Did you break your ribs? No. What is it? It just hurts.
Yeah. And bruising.
Yeah.
You were thinking about the girls at the party too, giving you a little sympathy over the shiner.
Michelle Tamayo.
You got some action over the shiner.
With Michelle and Marlene.
All right.
Twins.
All right, Hunter. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Go shoot something, Hunter.
Don't nod at me.
Oh boy. Let's say hi to Ryan in New Mexico. Ryan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
I have a question for you. Hey, if you have a bad day, or if there's someone bad in your profession, does somebody die? Paul, I drive a truck. If I have a bad day, or I'm a bad truck driver, does somebody die?
Yeah, sometimes.
If I
have a bad day, someone dies, it's me. That's the bad day. I'm vomiting.
I think you're pushing the concept for real. You're a truck driver. Just answer this question. But answer this. No, it's not. Answer this question. Do you know of bad truck drivers?
Yeah, but they're not murdering people. They're not beating people to death.
But that's not their job to chase people all day long either. Your profession is very different than being a cop. You're not getting into these situations and these stressful... Go ahead.
Hey, you say that not all cops are bad, right? Watch a San Bernardino sheriff video. There's 10 cops. Tell me which one's the good one out of that 10.
Well,
have you seen that video?
Okay, fine.
You make horse guy.
That's a good
10 guys.
All right, that's a good point. But I'll throw this back at you. I've been in New York now for, God knows, 17 years. I know a shitload of cops. They're not killing people. They're not beating them up. They're not on the news because of a video surfaced of something they were doing while they were a cop.
I really want to believe that, but it just seems like 80% of cops are just legalized stuff.
And get you out of the way.
I would say the percentage of bad truck drivers are higher than the percentage of bad cops.
Yeah.
Just because there's no real you just got to get a license to drive a truck, and then you're pushing routes that you're trying to make money. You're trying to make money to save your family. I think.
Yeah, truck driving, motherfuckity.
But anyway,
Smoking the Bennett.
One of the problems.
You gotta realize too that you four-wheelers out here cause a bunch of attitudes. When you can't see around the truck, and you're wondering why you can see you swerve around him, run up in front of him, slam on the brakes, and then you wonder why he runs over the top of you.
And it's a lot easier to become a cop nowadays too. Don't forget that.
Really?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's right, Shaquille O'Neal.
It's extremely. Kenny will tell you. How much easier is it to be a cop, Kenny, these days? You have a mic there. You could use that one.
I don't know about these days, but I know back in the day they lowered the standards like when I was trying to be, not because I became a
We understand.
It started, I think, already, Kenny.
Yeah, we'll play that in a second here. Thanks, James. I appreciate it.
Anyway, this is Gene again, but I'll let you guys go. Thank you.
All right.
Gene sounded like he had a dip of grizzly in his mouth.
What is that? Is that chewing tobacco?
Chewing tobacco, but the way he was talking, it just sounded like it. And right now, he's nodding in his truck. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, he's holding the cup up and just holding it close and drooling into it.
Someone saying in that video he's standing up by himself on the bumper.
Oh, is he? I didn't see
I don't know. All right.
Is he on the bumper? Let's look for that.
We're going to play the Bob Schieffer thing. Kenny just turned us on to this video.
Of being a reporter is the adventure, getting to talk to the people who make the news, seeing things with your own eyes that other people see only through the eyes and lens of others. And I've always said the best training to be a reporter or anything else is to work the police beat, because every story you cover is the worst moment in someone's life. If you can learn to get the right information under those circumstances, you won't be fazed by the high and mighty, and certainly not by the on-the-make politicians and spin doctors. Which is why I want to add a paragraph or two to the rash of stories lately about cops gone wrong. This is not about them. This is about all the cops you don't read about. They deal much of the time with the dregs of our society, the schemers, murderers, those who prey on the weak. And most of the time, the police deal with them humanely and as they should. What we overlook is just how difficult that can be sometimes. It's not easy to remain passive when a child beater looks you in the eye and tells you you have to understand the kid was keeping him awake. It takes a lot of professional training and strong character not to respond in anger. I know, because I spent my early years listening to some of these awful people. Sometimes I wanted to hit them myself. I didn't, but it helped me understand how hard it is to do a cop's job right. As hard as it is, the great majority of our cops still do just that.
Way to go, Bob Schieffer, because most of the media out there doesn't add that to the discussion.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some shitty things going on. We got a whole bunch of videos in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a couple months, whatever. But yeah, add that to the discussion, how hard the job is, and that most guys get it right. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't like the example he gave.
About the kids?
Yeah, cops come over and rough you up. How'd those pants get around your ankles, Mr. Hargis? He said gravity.
The look around the studio is what really is creepy about that.
I could see a little of your belly.
Oh, fuck.
That looks good.
Jesus Christ.
Take your shirt off.
No, I'm not taking my shirt off.
Fucking taking it off now.
Take it off. Take it off, dude.
Go ahead. It's all hairy. I wish you didn't have no hair. Big giant.
You feel way better
baby
now?
Body.
Fucking so much better. As soon as you brought it up, it's been driving me fucking nuts.
Do you have to like get a specific type of t-shirt, like really soft? Does that help? Or?
Well, the problem is I'm in between weight sizes right now. So all my XLs are fitting like baby doll tees. So all my XLs are driving me fucking nuts. I feel really good in V-neck, like polo V-neck XLs. They're kind of baggy, but I look like shit.
You should shave all that hair off. You'd be like a big baby.
I shave my underarms.
Yeah, all of it. Your beard hair.
Wait, you
should get cancer or something. All your hair will fall out.
Jesus.
Oh, it's just for the hair to come out.
You only shave your underarms?
Yeah.
All that hair you got going on, that's the problem area?
I trim it up. I like to keep it tight.
Because you don't like feeling that sensation either.
And I'll tell you what else I shave is I shave like under my balls, like right here, this hair.
Yeah, of course.
Because it all knots up.
Yeah, I get that.
I understand
do
the
that.
tactile thing too, though. There's certain things that drive me nuts. The feeling of them is
a
crazy.
stiff T-shirt. I cannot fucking wear whatsoever.
Oh, I'll get back problems from wearing a shirt that is the skinny cut. You know, like I'll get back because I'll be trying to suck my stomach in, or so it won't touch. Oh, it fucking drives me nuts. I got a really good classic fit Banana Republic shirt that I wore last night that I fucking loved.
Right. You were telling me you're a big fan of Chuck because he's on the line.
Yeah, I'm dying to meet Chuck.
You're dying to meet Chuck. All right. Bert Kreischer in studio. Chuck.
Hey, that Bert does a good job on the radio, man, but that seems like to me the one common denominator in all these videos about these black people getting beat up, killed, all that, they all fucking resist. Put your fucking hand behind your back and go to jail and then deal with it. That's what's getting them fucked up. They think they just shouldn't be arrested. Oh, damn, you go to fucking jail, then you plead your case.
I guess they would argue that they're so sick of being harassed, walking around their neighborhoods that it got to the point where they're not going to fucking resist and they're going to, fight the good fight.
Them motherfuckers, Opie, got records out the fucking ass. That guy that just died of that spinal shit, I heard last night on the radio, he had all kinds of shit. The fucking criminal, he didn't take his medicine. He got fucked up, whether he did it to himself or whatever. He should have took his medicine and gone to fucking jail. Now look what happened to him.
Oh, you can't though. I don't know what this guy did or if they broke his neck, but you can't, again, unless he did it to himself, but you can't sever somebody's spine. I trust the cops, and I know that because if anybody, like that guy who shot that other guy in the back, like you're saying, well, the guy shouldn't have ran, which he shouldn't have.
Oh, now that's different.
But I mean, anybody who would shoot you in the back,
right?
Anybody who would shoot you, you're acting like, well, if I did the right thing, he would have done the right thing. But if that guy is going to kill you for running away,
right? That video is fucking brutal.
I mean, that's an extreme example.
That is brutal. Most of these videos are brutal. I'm not going to lie to you, of course.
And black people say if there wasn't a video of that, the cop would have spun it, and then the guy would have. That's what the black people are still mad about that one.
Chuck, you should go to Baltimore, and they're going to probably protest again today outside the police station, and you should get a megaphone and get on your soapbox and tell them how it is out there.
I ain't going to Baltimore in a goddamn truck, much less around talking shit about them people. That's fucking Baltimore, man. You better lock your fucking doors at a red light in Baltimore. That's a mean fucking place. Plus, I drive a truck too. You're talking about bad truck drivers.
Right.
There's bad people in every fucking job.
Of course.
It don't make a fuck what it is. But driving a truck, it ain't easy. But you got to take that road rage and put it in your back pocket, or you'll stay mad all fucking day. All day. And there's a whole lot more rules and regulations than there was 25 or 30 years ago. We got to piss all the time for drug tests. I mean, if you have an accident, you're going to piss right off the bat. You got to get a CDL. You got to have a health card.
This is legit, Opie. This is legit. This is legit.
Well, there's no regulation about you guys kissing our back bumpers, you son of a bitches.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you see somebody on your ass like that, you should pull over and write their fucking truck number down in their company. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've got 42,000 pounds on this truck. And if somebody bowed up and I had to slam my brakes, it takes just about 3 football fields to stop.
Fuck.
Now, that's a lot.
How do you drive a truck knowing that, by the way? Yeah. How would you drive a truck knowing that?
You gotta be careful,
I would
man.
be out of my mind, freaked out.
You can't fuck around. You got to pay attention. I've been driving a truck since I was 16 years old.
Right.
You've got to pay attention, and you learn something new every day. People just get over in front of it. They don't give a fuck, but they don't know that it takes that long to stop.
That's crazy. I'm getting the fuck out of the way starting today.
Well, I'm telling you, 44,000 pounds is a lot of weight. Before I would hit a car in the ass going that fast, I would take the side. I'd hit the ditch. I'd do something because you're going to fuck a car up. There ain't no way around it. That much weight, moving 70 miles an hour,
right.
You're going to fuck some shit up.
All right, well, I expect you on CNN tonight as you go to Baltimore to tell those people what they're doing wrong.
I ain't going to fucking Baltimore. That's an asshole.
It looks like where they filmed The Wire. Yeah. I've been watching some of this footage. I'm like, man, that looks like where they filmed The Wire.
I got to piss, dude.
Did you see 12 O'Clock Boys?
We used to pick a lot of freight up on the docks down there in Baltimore, and that's a mean place, man.
Right. All right.
They don't fuck around. Listen, I wanted to thank you about Vic and Ron White. They really treated me and my wife good.
Awesome.
I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Chuck. I took your call because Bert Kreischer is a fan of yours.
Yes.
Well,
I was going to rest you a little bit, but I don't know the next time Bert's going to be here, so I figured he would get to talk to you a little bit.
I ain't never heard of
Say
this
a little
fucker.
bit again.
Today, what's he do?
I'm a comedian.
You don't even know what Bert Kreischer is? He's
Yeah.
a funny stand-up. He's got a podcast. He does crazy shit for the Travel Channel.
I tell you what, if he'll jump off them high buildings like that, he's got some big fucking balls. I won't jump off a 6-foot step ladder, much less a fucking big old building like that.
I broke my ribs jumping off a 6-foot step ladder.
Really?
Yeah, for Red Bull.
I don't like height at all. They tear my stomach up, man.
Would you do the jump from space, whatever the fuck they call
Felix
it?
Baumgartner?
Yeah.
No, he chickened out like 4 times. He got scared. He didn't want to do it. And you spin like crazy. You just go.
Well, we saw the video.
Yeah. So I couldn't do that. I'm fucking afraid it would dislocate my retina
The
or
thing
something.
about that freaked me the fuck out was when the doors open and then he had to scooch out to the edge, and I'm like, oh, what is he fucking thinking right now?
How about when his fucking mask fogged up? And they're like, okay, we need to get your mask, right? And they're going through all the things, and we're like, we're hoping because they couldn't talk to him for that second.
Right.
They're like, we're hoping this will go away, and if we don't hear from you, then you can either jump or not. And so it was like this moment of like, holy shit, what the fuck's going to happen? I couldn't do that.
Scooching out to the edge, that was what really, really got me. I'm like, wow. All right, Chuck, we're going to let you go, buddy.
Okay, man. Vic told me if I didn't come up there and see y'all, I was a puss.
Yeah, come on up. Just let us know. Give us a couple days notice. Notice.
I'm fixing to change jobs. As soon as I change jobs, I'm going to come up there. My wife wants to go around and see all that New York City bullshit, but I'll just come see y'all.
All right. Thanks,
all right,
Chuck.
man, Bert. Bert's doing a good job, man. I'm gonna keep a check on you.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right.
He sounds like
y'all have a good day.
All right.
He sounds like all of my wife's family.
Really?
All of them.
We're wrapping up. Jimmy just said he was going to pee his pants. There's the video that's kind of going viral of that. Do you think that's real?
What?
Did you see the chick peeing her pants on live TV yet?
No.
The reporter's talking to her about, I think, it might have been some kind of murder or shooting. I think Barstool Sports has it.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
I didn't see it.
You think it's real?
Oh, I like these. This is that.
Right. Yeah, this lady. You go to Barstool Sports.
Now, all I heard was saying, help me. I got to pee. Oh,
She goes, I got to pee.
I'm going to pee myself. Do you know where he was shot at on his body? I think real. In the side right there. So he was shot on the arm in his leg, or arm in his stomach.
Watch the pants.
Oh, it's okay.
You'll see it. Watch this.
But
We'll put it on our Facebook. There it goes. See
can you describe to people who don't know him?
See your pants getting
Oh my God!
I think his name was Mike. Okay, we'll be right.
It seems real.
Oh yeah, I shit my pants before I came in here.
What?
I was talking to Roland and I shit my pants.
For real?
Yeah.
It's actually a nicer reaction than most people have when talking about it.
You throw your underwear out?
I don't wear underwear.
It's fucking
I have tactile issues.
Okay, I got you. You got to be free balling.
Yeah. So I just had to just went in, take a shit. Pretend it never happened.
Well, where is it?
How much shit was in your pants?
No, I didn't like shat like crack. I just did like a little, like
squirts.
Little one of these little. Like that.
Suck it back up real quick.
Yeah, you suck it back up real quick.
But still,
I do those often.
But it died at the back of your jeans.
Yeah, we were doing a reveal for Trip Flip in Wisconsin. We go to the world's biggest geode. And by the way, when I was a kid, I like 3 things. I like figurine horses, rocks, precious gems, and Speedos. Like, those are my things. And
okay, so you're like big into chicks and stuff. That's
my dad's like, get him some knee pads too. So I'm so excited to go into this geode because geode gives you energies, and I'm got so excited. We're going down the stairs. I'm with my 2 travelers. We're filming me come down, and I totally shit my pants, like full blown. I had to like get new pants, shit my pants.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it happened in front of everyone. I went, I just shit my pants.
Why do you shit your pants so much?
I don't know, irritable bowel syndrome, something
You're
like
just
that.
very excitable in general.
Yeah, I get excited and.
Might want to look into your diet.
Oh, that's probably one of the things I should do. That's a good call.
What would cause you to doubt a cop's word?
In general?
Oh, yeah. It depends on what happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty vague. What would cause you to doubt a cop's word?
Well, is the guy on the line? Like, about what?
Yeah. Ken in Chicago.
Yeah, this is Ken Steele. I'm in Chicago.
Hi, Ken.
And I'm just wondering, Greg, Jimmy, is there anything that any scenario that a cop could describe to you that would cause you to say, I don't know if you're telling the truth? Because this is not the first fantastical, killing of a black person or a death of a black person in police custody. I mean, like, we've had the story of what was that? I forget his name, but there's a brother that they say took a gun while he was handcuffed in the back seat and then shot himself in the head. And that they presented a scenario that I guess if you believe in fairy tales or Beetlejuice or the boogeyman.
Well, hold on. You're saying what would make me question a cop's word? I'll answer you. If the story doesn't add up.
And he winds up dead, and you guys are giving the cops the benefit of the doubt.
No, I didn't. You know your problem is you talk too much and you don't listen. Because I didn't say it. I said I don't know what happened. I didn't say the cop is telling the truth and the guy's lying. I said, like Sam did, it looks like that guy is being dragged with his feet dragging to the van. So how is that not questioning the cop's word?
Yeah, we didn't give the cops the benefit of the doubt. My whole point was very easy. I think a lot of cops do the job properly. Yeah. I don't know if they did the job properly in that instance.
Yeah, but dude, I have no idea. How is that not? When I asked Sam, it looked like they're dragging the guy with his feet dragging. How is that not questioning the official story?
Right.
No. How is that not?
I mean, the sentiment that you guys are expressing that, hey, most of these cops are just giving the fair word. And all these stories that we're hearing time and time again, I wake up every day on my news feed, there's news story of black dudes getting killed.
Yeah, I know that, but you're just making these random things saying, why don't we question the cop's word? I just did on the last story, and now you're blowing past it because I'm calling you out on it.
Okay, all right. You know what? What I'm saying is this. I just heard you say, I believe the cops. And I
don't think any of us said that. We didn't say that.
Not about that instance. I don't know what happened in that instance.
We did not say that.
I don't know what happened in that instance.
I have no idea. I don't have enough. I don't have enough information.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have. Oh, okay.
The last caller said 80% of the cops were dirty. We didn't agree with that statistic.
And you're talking about what Chuck said. I don't agree with what Chuck said either.
Kenny?
Okay.
That was his angle on it. What do you want from us?
But you just called up with a statement, and then something just happened, and you completely misclassified the way we talked about that story.
Well, I guess I must be mistaken. I must be mistaken. This is the first time I'm listening in quite some time. I don't know if anything has changed over there, but it seemed to me like I was listening. What's up?
Maybe you used to listen closer. Maybe you used to listen closer.
Yeah, we're not.
Maybe because I'm just hearing some things where we see another case that looks real fishy, and I'm hearing a lot of benefit of the doubt type speak.
But I just explained to you what I said, so you're not hearing things properly. You don't listen well.
Jimmy's not saying that, and I'm not saying that either. I honestly don't have enough info.
I'm saying it's a stretch to me that the guy broke his own neck in the thing. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I would.
The officials down there, they're like, look, give us a little time. We're still getting all the facts together. I know people demand an answer of what happened to this kid, but you got to allow us to do our police work, and it's going to take a little time, and then we will present. We will present what we know. That's all I know. That's all I know. It doesn't look good. Of course it doesn't look good. They're saying his spine was severed.
Kenny, you want to address this, man?
Well, I just want to give this caller a thought to ponder.
Okay. What's going on, Kenny?
Hello, sir. Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening very closely.
Okay.
Well, not really.
There are those that think they know, and then there are cops.
Right.
Jesus.
Okay. That was his version of dropping the mic, by the way.
Right. And you know what? You know what? I don't know what to make of these police officers that are, I mean, time and time again, they're demonstrating that they will kill over anything. They'll kill over, and then they'll cover it up, and then guys like you will get on the airwaves and continue.
Hold on, but guys like me, let's break down why you're lying. You just said you haven't listened in a while, so you can't classify how we've been talking about police stories unless you're a liar. Then you say you guys are just.
Wait a second.
You just said you haven't listened in a while.
I don't know if anything. I noticed that there's a certain voice missing that used to shade these conversations. I don't know if the tinge of these
You're just lying. What are you doing?
Listen.
Are you going for a character? Like you're making it up as you go along, saying
I'm not making anything up.
Of course you are. You're trying to be cute. You just said that we are defending the cops in this case and giving them excuses, and I'm saying I really don't know what happened.
I don't think any of us were defending the cops.
It looks like they're dragging that guy with a broken neck. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So how is that backing up the official story?
I don't.
All right, Ken.
Why don't you just admit you made it up? You're not listening close enough. Can you just admit that?
Maybe I need to listen to you guys a little bit more closely.
Thank you.
Can I tell you this too, Ken? You know, we're all guilty of this. You see these videos on TV, and you just, because it's TV, I don't know, you feel like it's an epidemic, right? So
I don't know if I feel like it's an epidemic.
I think there are people out there that go, look at all that shit going wrong with cops, but you know, you got to keep it in perspective. If CNN, let's say, had videos and hundreds and thousands of videos of cops arresting someone properly, you would be bored shitless by the end of it.
That's a good point.
Right.
There would be no reason to put that on TV, but one that goes bad, you put it on TV, everyone's like, holy fuck, and of course it's a holy fuck type of moment, and then you start thinking to yourself, man, is this an epidemic?
You guys
is this happening all over the...
I gotta do a press.
Oh, okay.
So have fun. This guy's just not
We're
listening.
wrapping up anyway.
Great seeing you, Bert.
Jimmy's got his big epic special tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. I hope everyone tweets that.
We really do
tomorrow.
all have the same jackets.
Yes, he said. Explained that earlier.
Yeah.
Ken, thank you, buddy. And we're just gonna go.
Yeah, not a problem.
We're gonna go round and round here. All right. You made your points.
Man.
All right.
Wait a second.
All right. What?
This.
What?
All I'm saying is this. Yes, the media can color these incidences and make things look a certain way. But isn't it funny that whenever we have one of these big incidences, one of these big mistakes, then there's conveniently video of, somebody, oftentimes, a cop playing basketball with the local kids, or we just saw this video of a cop explaining why he let some dude with his hands in his pockets charge him, and we can all see, reasons why he would let this guy charge him or a pattern. But still, there's both sides of the argument being presented in these sensationalized videos. And I don't even think they're sensationalized. I think these are the few incidences that we catch on video that we can't just brush away when they're reported in the news.
I feel like the videos of the cops, like the one where he didn't shoot, that was pretty big the last few days, are so rare. And the reason, because they want to sensationalize everything, and in general, those videos are boring, and no one would give a fuck if they were on the news.
Hey, can I ask you a question, Ken? Because if you got pulled over by the cops, and just out of curiosity, would this energy you have now carry over into that interaction with the cop, or would you treat him with 100% respect?
Am I going to spit in a cop's face? Are you serious? Like,
no. Hold on. Ken, I didn't say, are you going to spit in a cop's face? I just asked this energy. This energy you have, which is somewhat volatile. Would this carry over to that interaction, or would you submit and be 100% yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir?
Or what your first thought is, would you flee, let's say, run away?
Well, here's what I will say. When the cops approach me, they often have their hand on their gun.
That's what everybody
They do that to me too. They've done that to me.
When you see a car that is pulled over and the one cop is sneaking up on the passenger side, he always has his hand on his weapon.
Look, so the energy
That's
is
not a
already
black-white thing.
The energy is already there. I don't need to bring any sort of energy to the room. In fact, whenever I'm interacting with the police, I try my best. To come out of the situation alive. So, I definitely do, conduct myself in a very civil manner. The energy of death of death being imminent. Oh, it's already there. I mean, they have a gun. So
that is a perspective, because I definitely don't feel like my interactions with cops ever are going to end up in my death. And I'm not picking one side or the other. I'm just letting you know I never believe my interaction with a cop will end up in me dying whatsoever. But I am also very different, and I've had them come with their hand on their gun. That's how they pull you over, because they don't know who you are at all.
Right.
They have to guess.
They're not going to assume.
Yeah, they're not going to just assume, oh, this guy.
That's going to go well.
I've been riding. Okay, wait a second. I was on campus. It is some perspective. I was on campus at Michigan State University. This was during my senior year. I was riding with my good friend, who is also a brother. And one time, I remember, the police pulled us over in the middle of the street and rushed out of their car. They dragged my friend out of the car. They started yelling his name, dragged my friend out of the car, and we didn't even know what was going on. I turned on my phone. I recorded this incident, and I had my friend on the line and everything like that. But at the same time, this situation, I mean, like, they pulled him out of the car, they put him in handcuffs, they had a gun in my face and everything like that. I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
And it turns out that was a situation, what they described as mistaken identity. Now, we were driving in a bucket. I mean, it was a very conspicuous-looking car or whatever. But you can, and I'll give the cops that excuse. We could have been some scary-looking black dudes. I don't know. But none of my friends can, none of my white friends can describe a situation like that to me.
Well, here, what you need to remember is, I don't believe. Everyone's on everyone's side. I don't believe that just because you're in a bucket and you're black, they have the right to pull you out of a car and hold you down. No one's believing that.
Oh my God, dude! It turned out, they held us down for maybe 45 minutes. It turned out to be a mistaken identity, but I've never had that situation happen to me when I'm, rolling with some of my white friends or something like that. I've never seen that happen to any of my white friends, but I was there and I've seen it. I've had guns pulled out on me over some real, very minor situations. I mean, put in my face. I don't want to go into them over the radio or anything like that, but these situations, I mean, fine, minor in possession of alcohol or something, very, very child.
Have you ever dealt drugs?
Teenager type situation.
Have you ever dealt drugs?
I mean, it's got to be said. It's got to be said. I mean, as a middle-aged white man, my experiences are certainly very different than living.
Very different.
Yeah. Living in a poor neighborhood, of course. That's why I take phone calls from you, because I am trying to figure out the whole perspective here and different angles on this type of thing. Of course, I don't understand walking in your shoes.
But
in our world, you grit your teeth and you're like, fuck, and you fucking hate the cop for pulling you over or doing whatever the fuck, and you just but you do. At that moment, you do.
I don't hate if I'm swerving in a lane incorrectly, or if I'm doing something wrong or anything like that. Yeah, that's their job. Do their job. But the gravity of the interaction, I'm telling you, is a completely different air and different feel. We just saw a video of them going crazy at University of Kentucky, and the kids there were taking selfies with the cops. I was at Ferguson, and let me tell you, they brought out the National Guard. The Air National Guard was flying F-16s over the place. They had drones out. I mean, it was a.
What were they going to do with the F-16s?
Gravity.
No kidding.
Hey, have you ever seen the video of the I think he's a Carolina football player who gets pulled over in South Carolina by the bad cop, and all he does is just yes sir, no sir, and he ends up getting arrested for just speeding, and his mom has to come pick him up, but this guy just says he's obviously a big black dude, so the guy assumes he's a drug dealer, and the guy's got his gun out. I mean, the cop it's aggressive, and the cop's like, get down, and the guy's like, yes sir. Right. It's really interesting, because that's how I interact with the cops, and that's how that guy interacted with the cops.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe
it's completely a different thing, and it's just there's this idea that I think by this point, I think that anything that we hear out of these police departments, what we're seeing across the country, I think need to be taken with I guess a grain of salt. I don't know. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say.
What percentage of cops are bad in your mind?
You know what? You know what? I think that the whole institution. I think that they have unions.
All right.
I think that they.
That I'm not going to do.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That I can't even.
Wait a second.
That is as equal of a statement as that all black people break crimes.
Wait a second. And here's the thing.
That's ridiculous.
It's an apparatus.
They're not going to turn me on that point.
The worst one.
I think it's an easy argument to go, look, all you have to do is not resist arrest, and
Right.
I will give you that point because I don't oh fuck, Ken, we got to go. I can't do this.
I'll give you my phone number. Call me later.
Thank you, buddy. Ken of Chicago. Thank you. I don't think it's as easy as just telling people, look, just not,
yeah,
don't resist arrest.
There's a gray line, a gray area where it's like, I don't know, I can't tell you what it's like to be a young black kid getting pulled over. Right. All I can tell you what it is to be like a young white kid.
Kenny.
Speaking of that, Bert, here's a video where a young black man drops some knowledge. It's a short video if you want to.
I'd like to see it, yeah.
You've been finding some videos, have you? All right. We're wrapping up, but it is a short video, Bert.
Okay.
We can play this.
Definitely.
Let's see.
Kind of videos, but I felt like this one was necessary. I was in Lexington maybe about 10 minutes ago taking care of some business, and I was pulling out of the courthouse taking a left, and the lane was filled up with traffic, but the turning lane that was a few feet up ahead of me was free, so I made my left turn and I proceeded through the median until I got to the turning lane. An officer pulls up behind me, throws on his lights. After understanding that he was there for me, I pulled off to the side, and he came up and he said, hey, how you doing, yada, yada, yada. So the reason I pulled you over is for improper use of the median. He told me what I did, asked for my license and my registration. I gave that to him. He left for a while. Now, I will say that while he was gone, and while he was with me, I made sure my hands were on the steering wheel. I made sure to speak very politely, as I always do. I did what he told me to do. I handed me information, and I sat there and I waited, and I turned my music down. A few minutes later, the guy comes back, hands me my stuff, and he explains, the median needs to be open for emergency vehicles, blah, 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 blah. I was in the wrong. I didn't realize it. I just did it out of habit. He gave me a warning, and I was about my way. Now, the point of this is to say that I am an African-American male. This gentleman was Caucasian. There were no problems. He did his job. I did what I was supposed to do. And that was it. I feel like people need to understand that not all officers are crooked. Not all officers are racist, bad people. And not all people who get shot or tased or arrested by officers are innocent victims. Just because you're black doesn't mean you're a victim. Just because you're white doesn't mean you're a racist. Just because you're a cop doesn't mean you're a bad person. This world really needs to stop putting labels on people and things and see them as who they are. People doing jobs, doing things. Ignorance has no color. God doesn't see color. Why should we?
Well, God damn. We found one.
Just drop knowledge.
We found one. Found one, Kenny. Good for you. All right. Bert, this was a pleasure, bud.
I had a blast. Thank you for having me in.
When are you going to be back?
May 6th, do Rachel Ray.
Really?
Yeah, May 6th and 7th. I'm going to try to get on Legions of Skanks. Yeah, and I just did Bobby. I just guest hosted You Know What, Dude for Bobby Kelly yesterday.
Nice.
And so I'll hit you guys up if you guys have free spot. I'd love to come in. I love when you guys have people like this astronaut or Neil Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We figured that would work out perfect.
Oh, it's
you with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Just fascinating fucking
fun.
people.
All right, what are we promoting? Bert Kreischer on the Twitter, BertBertBert.com for a lot of videos and whatnot.
Yeah, tour dates, I'm sure. Phoenix. I'm in Phoenix.
May 7th through the 10th.
Yeah,
Stand Up Live in Phoenix.
Stand Up Live, and then Minnesota, and then, I'm on tour.
Oh, Levity Live. Nice.
Levity Live, West Nyack, New York, yeah.
End of May. It's a great club. Have you played it?
Yeah, I ran into Sam at the Best Buy there.
Yeah.
And it was like,
and then we went, Roland and me went to see you at Levity Live.
And I shaved Roland's back in the bathroom.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That happened at, I remember that.
That was
happened
a
at
fucking
Levity Live.
fun time.
That was fun.
I love that mall.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
Palisades.
Huge.
Are we going to hang out again?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
definitely. That's my mall.
That's my mall.
That's my mall. All right, I guess that's it.
Awesome.
Ron will be doing the show tomorrow morning. First time since the whole Ron and Fez thing ended.
Yeah, Bennington.
Just call it Bennington?
I mean, it'll be the same show that he's always done on Fridays.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's first time back in a couple of weeks. It's been a while since we've had him on our channel. So tune into Bennington tomorrow morning. We'll see you guys Monday. Don't forget about Jim Norton's special on Epics tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Hopefully a lot of people tweet it out to the people. Get some promotion going. Want a lot of people to check it out, all right? All right. See you Monday.
Today's show will be available later today on SiriusXM On Demand. SiriusXM On Demand.
Bert did a great job reading this earlier on the show. He did terrific for the FanDuel people. You should be the spokesperson.
Yeah.
FanDuel is changing the way people play fantasy baseball. It's more fun than ever. Sign up now to play one-day fantasy baseball at FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com, the leader in one-day fantasy baseball for real money with immediate cash payouts. Entry fees start at just $1. Stop waiting 6 months to win a league. Play today, win tonight. Pick a brand new team any day you want. No season-long commitment. That's the key to FanDuel.com. And no upfront fees. It's not just baseball. Play NHL and NBA playoff games on FanDuel.com. David W. from Tampa, Florida won $29,975 on opening day this season on FanDuel. And so did Danny S. and Richard C., who won $13,641 and $5,385. FanDuel is paying out more than $2.5 million every single day this MLB season, but you have to play to win, so sign up today. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner. Use the code OPIE, OPIE, and sign up now. Special offer for new users. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it with up to $200 that gets earned as you play. Go to FanDuel.com to check it out for yourself. Use the promo code OPIE, OPIE, FanDuel.com.
Rock is far from dead, and we'll prove it. SiriusXM